Okay, let's get our RPG Maker open. For some reason, our closed captions aren't working. I'm sorry about the brightness. Let's get that out. bit very white. Yeah, they're not working. I just refreshed, and for some reason the website's down, so we can't have them on today. I'll probably look for some other closed captions if it keeps being silly. Oh my god, Ghosty, thank you for the 100 bitties. My god, it's your birthday. We should be giving Ghosty the bitties for her birthday, but she's giving them to me instead. Hype, let's see that hype for the subs from Canon and Asriel and the bitties from Ghosty. Appreciate you. Light theme should be banned. That's interesting, Cheese. I mean, I personally prefer dark theme. Well, I don't like it too dark, but if I have to choose between dark and light, I'd prefer dark theme. But some people have to have light theme because they're colourblind, so that's the thing. It has to exist, but it is too bright, very, very bright. And this Draw.io is quite bright as well, which is why I have the dark background, so I don't blind you all, otherwise you'll be blinded. All these monsters look like poison type. Yeah, they're the Everbloom Forest enemies. And it's a foresty place. And these enemies kind of fit that kind of style. So, we've done the first 4. I was working on some enemy skills last night after the stream. And I think I've done it with the flower and the bee now. I was a little bit stuck on them yesterday, getting some of the skills working. But I think I've got them to a state where I'm sort of happy. I'm going to do a couple of test plays today, finalise them, and then after that we're going to really start considering these last 3 enemies, the deer, the stumpy and the tree, and then it'll be an awesome thing that we've got done once all those enemies are sorted out. And then it'll just be, getting those 12 skills for the player, the warrior, the hunter and the vampire. And then another thing we really want to consider is stuff like items and rewards from the battle and things like that. So we're definitely going to have an item stream soon, but we'll get the skill stuff over with first. And then shortly after that, we'll be planning the first boss, huzzah. It's very foresty. Yeah, we kind of said the next dungeon that will be after this forest will be a cave. And the reason for that is because we've clearly got a cave. If we look on this particular map, there's a cave right here in the middle. So our adventurers will be going there at some point. Story will lead there, of course, so we'll be doing some Geodude type of rock enemies at some point too. Liquid, thank you for those 100 bitties. Unicorn bitties. Oh, I thank you guys for being fantastic. Can we have some hype as well for Liquid and those 100 bitties? Yeah, you've got a cloud badge now. A Final Fantasy cloud themed bit badge. And hi Coda, how are you doing today? The cave looks huge. Well, it's not that big in all reality. It's about twice the size of Jesus, who is the custom hero in my game. He can be whatever you guys want him to be, or her, when you make them, when you play this. It's cavey. Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. Jesus. Perfect emote. Okay, so that'll be in the near future. Before we do that cave dungeon and the mapping for that though, we'll have a lot to do at Lake for our little village. We've got a lot of NPCs here. We got a lady here, a man who fishes here. We got some peeps inside as well in the shops, and they'll give side quests out. We'll probably have a chat. We'll probably have a discussion about potential side quests, but we want them to be fantastic and webcam behave yourself. And blurry. Why has this happened? There we go, back to normal. Yeah, so that's kind of the plans for the future. Get the skills done, start considering items, side quests that well, first boss though first, and the next part of the story, and then probably the cave dungeon. And eventually we'll probably leave the whole of this area and we'll start considering what comes next, like what other zone will start, what zone would be perfect to go to next. But that is in the far future. Probably still episode 1 stuff though, because I would like to have another zone in episode 1 at least. Because I want it to be a few hours content. The vinyl boss is Jesus. Maybe Rosie's a ghost, that's why it's blurry. Yeah, who knows? Maybe I've just got powers. Square must have databases of, oh my goodness, they must. Sometimes I'm wondering how I'm going to organise the lot of it. I really am. I mean, I've got the skills here for the enemies we've done so far. And I've put the player skills all the way at the bottom because I think 2,000's the max we can have. It is, that's the most. So because I don't know how you guys would do it if you were doing stuff like this, but I personally wouldn't like the player skills mixed in with all the enemy skills. It would be confusing. So I'm kind of doing it that way. That's my way of keeping it organised. Okay, so yeah, we did the flower and the bee skills. So photosynthesis was originally 10% of HP regenerated every turn, but because the flower itself only has 20 HP, it didn't feel like enough to only be healing 2 HP every turn. And yeah, they've got super low HP in this fight because it's early, the very first dungeon, and I don't want to make them too strong or too high because we kind of limiting how strong we can potentially get, and so it's best to start with super low HP, I think, and then enemies get gradually more stronger through all the dungeons and areas we go through. It's going to be a long game. We don't want to have enemies be too strong straight away. And so yeah, they heal with 5 HP every turn, and I'm going to do a bit of balancing. Might not stay that way, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to do some battle tests today, and we did the bee as well. We were messing about with some of the bee skills yesterday, and petal slice and pollen puke were pretty straightforward. It's just a normal attack and a debuff that lowers accuracy for that. I'm unsure if we're going to keep the lowering accuracy as the debuff, because really that's just blind. It's just blind with another name. And part of me thinks that I don't know if I want to do that, but we could always alter it so it's not too much like a copy of blind. Also, yeah, Swarm was the one we spent a lot of time on yesterday as a skill. It was a little bit confusing, but I had lots of help because you guys are fabulous. And hello, I see there's more chat mentioned. Hi, welcome Mr. Noob Sock, welcome to the stream. You're making your own game? That seems very complicated. Is it playable at all? No, it's not complicated at all. Well, I lie. Of course there's challenges. It's a game dev, making games. It's a bit of project, of course, but nothing worth doing comes easy, does it? That's the truth. And thank you for the follow, Naj. I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. Is it playable at all? Well, I'm going to be getting a website up, and one of the things I want on that website is a kind of roadmap. And I'm going to do a sort of visual graphic of a monthly roadmap to show what sort of the plans are each month. Just not in too much depth, just like a brief overview, and it'll say the plan for when episode 1 will be around that time, and I'll regularly update it every few weeks, I think, because I think that way you guys you kind of have an idea of what we've got planned. So that was something I was considering for having on the website, and the website will be some point in the next few weeks. We'll get the full launch for it. It will be in episodes of the game. Devin will be at least 5 more years, as Storm Eagle says. Yeah, I mean, 5 years is the approximate sort of amount of time, because when I think of a game, it's always a few years, especially if you're one person doing it. And people have asked me quite a lot. They've said, so when's Raindrop Chronicles going to be over? When's the game going to be finished? And I'm kind of like, you do realise that by me putting an end date on it, that I'm also saying that my Twitch career is over, because this is what I do on Twitch. So as soon as Raindrop Chronicles is finished, so is what my streaming on Twitch. And we don't want that to end, do we? So it's great. Let it be as long as possible. That's the thing. And that's why, another reason why episodic, having it as episode is perfect, because we can just keep doing more episodes, and there's no limit on how many we're going to do at this point. We'll just keep carrying on until we're at a good point, I guess, to finalise the whole thing. Yeah. Good luck and Godspeed. Thank you, Noob Sock. I like your name, by the way. Is it going to be a mutant deer, evil deer? Yeah, it's an evil deer for sure. Have you seen the picture of it? Let's get him up. Yeah. Red eyes, evil deer. Not saying red eyes means evil, but that's what some assume. So, have they all got red eyes? Nah, the flower hasn't. One thing that we was going to do, we decided yesterday to split the bee up, because we've got the bee mob sort of monster here. And I don't know if you've noticed, but if we look in the enemy section, I've done it so there's a queen bee and a worker bee. But we're going to have to, I'm going to change this graphic. I'm going to make it large, and I might change the eye colour or something to distinguish them from each other. Is that the right word? I don't know. But because the queen bee has got different abilities to the worker bee. The queen bee is the one that uses swarm and calls the other bees into battle. And they also use the drone ability that increases their attack. And the worker bees just use needle sting. I've got it set up as that at the moment. And I made a few little... I sort of played around with the swarm and messed about with how it could work. And I've kind of... The reason I've put a switch on the common event for this, I mean, I didn't know if it would work, but it actually did. Is because I'm going to be doing it with turns. So if we go in the troops menu, we'll see that. So every new turn, a new bee is kind of summoned. So you got to kill the queen bee as quickly as possible. That's the rule. We'll do a test play and see how it works. Because originally, yesterday at the end of stream, we had it so... The queen bee summoned all of the worker bees in one go, and I wasn't sure about that because it kind of defeats the purpose of having that ability. Might as well just have them there all at the start, right? But so I thought, yeah, if we have one summoned every new turn, then that would make it give a bit more strategy to the battle and be like, yeah, you got to kill the queen bee, otherwise she'll keep summoning and then you'll get overwhelmed, sort of thing. And thank you for the follows, guys. Illuminated Space and Ryan, welcome to the stream. I hope you're having an awesome day. Season 1, episode 22, Roses from Death. Can give it a cute tiara or something. That's an idea, Cheese. I don't even know what queen bees look like, actually. What's the difference between queen bees and normal bees? I believe they're just larger in size, aren't they? I think that's the main thing. But I probably will change its eyes from red to another colour. Just to like show you that it's a different bee as well, because maybe the size wouldn't make it obvious enough. Giving it a tiara would be so cool though, but at the same time I don't want to ruin the beautiful artwork by putting a silly tiara. But if it worked, if it kind of worked with the art style, then yeah, I'd totally do it. Queen bee should be really strong. Well, the queen bee doesn't attack at all. She just summons. And it's the worker bees that do the attacking. I'm very reluctant to make her really strong. These are the first enemies of the whole game. And it's the first dungeon. We want to be kind. Sort of kind anyway. Because we don't want to make things too hard too early on. But I do, at the same time, I do like the idea of having battles that aren't just attack and like mash buttons kind of thing. I do like a bit of thought and creativity behind the battles, but it doesn't necessarily have to be hard. It just shows different mechanics and how they'll work it's like just an introduction to how. But over time, as we go through more dungeons, totally, yeah, we'll make super hard monsters. Don't know where to. I was like, well, there's not a sentient barrel in real life that talks either, is there? But Raindrop Chronicles has that. Queen must be bigger, yeah, for sure. Well, we're going to edit that graphic now and do that for sure. And thank you for the host as well, Illuminated Space and Cheese Weasel. I appreciate that. You like difficult games? Some people don't. Some people get frustrated. It's all, again, subjective, isn't it? And I think Raindrop, I want it to be accessible. I don't want it to be like Dark Souls or anything like that. But at the same time, we can totally have super bosses and hard side quest bosses as well. I'm completely for that. Like, to get really special rewards for doing hard things in the game. I'm all for that. But part of me thinks those things should be side kind of things and not main quest stuff. Otherwise, people could give up and rage quit. You can do easy mode and hard mode. We're not going to have like easy or hard mode in this. It'll all be the same. Generally, most. I don't know how some RPGs do it, but most of the ones I've played like are the same. They keep the same. But you do have the option to turn UI on and off and stuff like that, and have quest markers off. And we're going to do that because we had a discussion about that last week. And some people don't like UI. They don't want mini maps. They don't want any quest indicators at all. But other people really like that sort of stuff, like me. So that way you can edit in the option menus, your heart's desires, whatever you want it to be. Time-based battles, I thought 10 was the most difficult. Yeah, I love 10. And I actually thought 10 was one of the easier ones. The one that I thought was hard was 8, probably more. But I managed 100% that one in the end. But it was probably, I think it was harder to get used to. It was a bit more unique and flexible, the whole junction system. 7 and 10 were not too bad at all. And I think 9 was probably one of the easier ones. You love FF8? Yeah, it's good. Hi Black Rose, how are you doing today? 8's one of my faves. I think it's my third favourite. 7's my fave, then 10, and then probably 8. I think it's very underrated as well. Super underrated. Okay, so we are going to edit that sprite. That's one of the first goals of the stream. Get a queen bee. Once we've done the queen bee, got her in there, the asset changed, we will do a couple of test plays of the bee battle and the flower battle, make sure they're all balanced and stuff. And then it's all about just getting these guys done and dusted, the last 3. And then, yeah, these are the only 7 enemies of the Everbloom Forest. So we can move on to other stuff after that. And enemies are all done, yay. Although I will have to set up like a switch for each of the little silhouettes walking around the map. Because as you can see, if we have a look, we have all these little on-map encounters. So you have to run into these sprites to start the battle. And when you've killed them, they'll disappear. And you'll get your rewards and your loot and everything. And but we probably will have a respawning thing where when you go off the map and go back on it, they'll respawn. Just so people can grind if they wish. So that's something as well to do. Does the game have a world map? Not yet, Black Rose Dragon, because we've only done Everbloom Forest so far and just one area so far. But as we progress with the development and we move on through the adventure, we will be having a world map, of course. And to be honest, we'll probably start thinking about the world map as soon as we leave the Everbloom Forest and move on to a new region. And we will probably do it so we have a map that slowly reveals more, like we've got the Everbloom Forest somewhere in the world, and then we consider what's around it, the places around it, and then we slowly build from there as the adventurers travel through the world. After a win, just make the temporary delete the event. Oh, okay, yeah, I need to have a think about how I'm going to do the respawning stuff. If we have it, I'll click this to show you what I mean. But if win, enemy 1 dead on as a switch, and it literally, all it does is make it disappear. The sprite disappears. So I'll have to have a think about how to deal with the respawn. I'm sure it's not complicated, right? What you said, Storm, is probably the way to do it. It will delete the event until the map is exited and walked in again. Okay, it seems like it's easy enough then to do, which is a relief. Hi Fit Cran, hello, how are you doing? I missed you. I have to thank you for the emotes. I've shared them, everyone. A lot of people think they're really cute. They like the bats, do they? That's wonderful. That makes me happy. They are cute bats, aren't they? How are you doing anyway, Fit Cran? I hope you've been well. Thank you for using my emotes. Okay, chat, I'm going to have a quick BRB. Just need to go to the bathroom, get a quick drink, and then we'll start doing that Queen Bee. It'll be easy enough. We'll just make her a bit larger and we'll change the colour of her eyes maybe. And we'll put her in and we'll test how that works. Be back soon. I am back. Sorry for the hold up chat. I'm blurry again. I think it's some kind of setting on my cam that I'm going to have to mess around with that's causing that. And I think it got mentioned what it was, but completely forgot. Okay, let's catch up with what you all said. And welcome back, Elite. How are you doing? Getting a drink from the bathroom? Maybe that's where I get my drinks from. Cat's out the bag now. Oh no, stress. Things needing to be done all the time, but it's not the end of the world and I've lost my marbles, so it's not too shabby. I'm like, well, that's a good attitude, Vikra, and I'm glad that you see the positive in it. That's awesome. And I hope things get better. Stress happens. It sucks. It's a part of life. It's in the second tab in events under character and it's called Arrays Event. Hang on, what were we discussing again? Was this to do with the respawning stuff? But yeah, I'll get that done. We'll get the skills sorted first, get the battles balanced how we want them to, and then I'll start, you know, doing the eventing properly and getting the respawning to work after that. Take it a step at a time. Okay, so right, so I'm gonna have to open Photoshop first of all. It's been a while since we've done some editing. But it's only going to take a few minutes to do this. I did a crown and more wings on the bee. Oh my god, you've actually got a crown. Let's have a look. Okay. And I do like the idea of a crown, I'm not going to lie. It just adds a bit of humour to it, doesn't it? Awesome. I'm gonna let's compare that to the original bee then, because I completely forgot what the other bee looked like. So I'm going to open that in Photoshop, and I'll show you guys in a sec once it's all opened. So I've got so many folders. So I have a folder on my desktop where I keep all the monsters, but I also have it obviously in my Raindrop Chronicles folder as well. Yeah, for some reason the bee isn't in this folder on my desktop, which is weird. So I'm gonna have to go in my Raindrop Chronicles folder and get it. Thank goodness for quick access, otherwise I'll be forever trying to find it. Right, even though I've got quick access, I still struggle to find where the monsters are, because they're in SV enemies and I keep thinking they're just in the normal enemies section. Right, so I found it. Knees to the bay. Okay, so I'm gonna just save the one that Storm sent me. Save it on my desktop and then I'll open it in Photoshop and then we can have a look. I have so much stuff on my desktop now. So much. I usually give it a clear out at some point now. I don't like to have too much stuff on my desktop. Okay, so right, so the shadow size is different, and in fact something I did want to do, I don't know if you guys agree here, but I did want to make the shadow a bit lower on the bee than it originally is, because to give the impression it's a bit higher in the sky, because it looks like it's hovering on the ground, sort of how it is like that. We'll see how it looks anyway, but I kind of think he might look better if he was a little bit lower. Wait a sec, make it smaller then. Did you make the monster in the game? I didn't. It's a guy on Patreon. He does battlers for RPG Maker. I need to find his name because we need to credit him. But he's one of the most popular battler artists on the webs. He has a Patreon for it and stuff, and he's still very active. Yeah, that's the one. He's got loads, and he's still adding more all the time, which is awesome. There's lots of variety of enemies, and I'm very glad someone like that exists because consistency. We can have consistent art then. Oh, thank you, Storm Eagle. Okay, so as if you go further up, the shadow gets a bit smaller. Okay, so that is true. So we could always just copy and paste the one that is on this one, I guess. That's a smaller one, and we'll try and keep, even though the queen bee is gonna be a bit different, we want to kind of have a bit of consistency, so we'll keep the shadows the same. And also I want her to have the same distance as well. What is our canvas size for this? It's 188 pixels. Okay, so this is actually considerably larger, I see. It's actually quite hard to tell. So we've got 300% zoom. Looks just a touch larger. Also, we could maybe sharpen those wings a bit, even though it's not going to be noticeable when it's in the game at its normal size, because that's its normal size. So it might not matter. We might not have to be that fussy. It looks fine, completely fine at that zoom level. Do you think the size is fine? I mean, I think having the extra wing and the crown on the head kind of distinguishes it enough, but I would like to, should we change the eye colour? I don't know. It might be enough having it just like this. What do you reckon, chat? Hi Keena, how are you doing today? It's good to see you. Queen should have black wings, other eyes and a crown. And the sting eye colour is a bit of a tint off. It's redder, I think. Yeah, you're right actually. That's like a kind of more desaturated pink, and that's more red. Well noticed. How you doing, Kermit? I'm doing decently. And I've got a bit of hair sticking up. I see. I'm going to just get a clip and put that down. Got my little short hair sticking up. There we go. And Kermit, I don't know if I told you, but we got dwarves in the game now. I know that I'm pretty sure you mentioned them at one point, so I obviously would love you to know. Yes, let's go. Yeah, if you look in the Raindrop Chronicles, let me just get it up. I'll just get it up quickly. Mine as well. Now we're talking about it, and just to let people know in chat as well. So if we look at Raindrop RPG, here we go. This is the tweet. So we've got the dwarves, yay! We got 8 races now. Huzzah! Are they going to be like secret underground people working on something big, or like traders? Well, like there'll probably be different factions, won't there? Like we could totally have a faction of dwarves like that. But even if there's other dwarves in other parts of the world doing different things, that's fine too. I mean, we're gonna probably have loads of factions of the different races, and it lets people have a bit of flexibility for what they want their character to be then. Someone might want to be a dwarf that's like a completely, you know, different kind of character, and some might want to do the underground thing like you say. So yeah, I'm excited to start thinking about factions and thinking about groups of people. That's always something I like doing in world building. Bees with knees? Is that actually real? I'm gonna have a look. I'm gonna have a look at this. It says I've taken a wrong turn. Is the image wrong? Yeah, it says that for me too. Okay, so we won't change things too much with this bee because we don't want it to be too jarring either. And to be honest, it does clearly look different to the other bee. Part of me wonders if we should change the colour of the crown just to make it stand out a bit more, but I'm not sure what colour we'd do because gold seems like the obvious colour. But you can kind of tell she is wearing one, right? I don't know. I can see it, can you? Why can't we see it? So I'm alright with having it as it is. Thank you, Storm, for doing that. Let's just zoom it out 100% so we can see what they both look at that size. I'm gonna make it the same canvas size though, the little bee, as this one. So that's 555 and 195. I think that's it. Yeah, it's the same now. So I'm going to be a full spot and get them all get it in the exact same spot as well. Okay, so it's in the exact same spot. The shadow's a bit off, so I'll get that in the same spot as well. Maybe green crown. Think the queen's body could be longer. Bee just evolved to get the legs. Trouble is, if I start editing it and making it longer and bigger, I'm worried I'm gonna kind of distort it. I mean, I'm not a character artist, so I can't do it myself really. I mean, I could, but I could potentially take the whole stream doing it, if you know what I mean, because I'm not a natural at it of doing character art. So if we want to be quick about it, I suppose we have to accept with what we've got. There's nothing wrong, of course, with spending a lot of time doing something. It just increases development time overall. So that's exactly, it's all in the same position now, so I'm all good with that. We are talking about bees, the bee with legs. Oh, okay, I thought we was talking about this one. I couldn't even see the bee with legs. But I'm gonna, oh, okay, if I hover over it, it appears. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Oh my goodness. I like it. A rare enemy. Put that in the game. It's just bonkers. It reminds me so much of Hollow Knight. The art style, it actually, I know what you mean. It kind of does, doesn't it? I like the thick black outline. That's what needed to be longer. Oh, okay. As long as it has more spikes and wings, we can tell it's the queen. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we can distinguish. The main goal was to make the queen bee, look different to the worker bees. That was just what we need to do, really. So I'm gonna save these, pop them into RPG Maker and replace the graphics, and then we'll do a test play. I'm not gonna lie, I do like the one with legs. If we ever have like a side quest, okay, we're not gonna have it as an actual bee now in the game, like one of these bees, but I'll just say, if we ever do a side quest and one of the NPCs says we got a an evil bee roaming the Everbloom forest that needs to be dealt with immediately, and have a little backstory and a bit of lore behind it, then we'll totally add that bee with legs. Well, he can be like a little mini boss in a side quest. Crown would be best. Sound effects. Oh yeah. The battles are pretty simple at the moment. I haven't really put a lot of time into the sound effects or making it all flashy or anything like that, but I definitely want to spend some time really doing that sort of thing once we balance the battles out. And one thing I want to do is make sure that the player character's weapon's visible as well, because he's either a warrior or a hunter, either got an axe or a bow and an arrow, depending on which one. And obviously I would love those weapons to be bit visible, because in vanilla RPG Maker battle system they don't show up. So, but there is ways to do that. So I'll definitely be spending some time on making things a bit more flashy. But priority for now is getting the skills all working and battles balanced, I guess. That's the enemies. Okay, so I'm gonna have to delete all the default enemies we don't use, because it takes me forever to find the ones that we're actually using. Okay, so Queen Bee and Worker Bee. I won't save over the old one, just keep that as it is. Okay, back in RPG Maker. And that was me when I tried to open that file. It's gained arms. Okay, so Queen Bee, yay! And Worker Bee. Awesome. So, has it updated in the troops as well? It has. So you can see here, this is our Queen Bee, the one right at the back, and she'll use Swarm after every turn and summon another bee. And obviously she's the one you've got to kill, or she'll just keep swarming them until she has 4. And then once all 4 are on the field, she'll use a massive buff, an attack buff on them. So that'll make their attacks even stronger. So it's straightforward enough. The Queen Bee isn't even going to do any damage. She's just the summoner and the buffer. But it's the actual worker bees that do the damage. So I haven't really messed about with what the attack and all the defense and etc is going to be yet, but we could just keep it all round as 3, because that's kind of what we have for the toxic plant and mushroom, either 2 on everything or 3 on everything. But we might make a few edits if we feel like we need to. So let's have a test of that battle. We'll get the test, and of the flower as well. Hi Kaz, how are you doing today? It's good to see you again. Granaldo from FFA, among others, in the training area. Oh yeah, remember that training area, Renee? Remember that massive T-Rex as well? I was scared of that when I was a kid. Okay guys, I'm going to go on another BRB again. I'm so sorry about the disruptions. I promise I won't be long. I'm just getting disrupted, so I will be back very shortly and then we'll do the test play. Appreciate you all. Okay, I'm back. What have you guys been chatting about? Oh my goodness, you've added arms to the bee. It's like a Pokemon, isn't it, this bee? Okay. I feel a bit dehydrated today, guys. I'm sorry. Still a little bit not quite myself, but I'm still excited and ready to go. Don't think I had the best night's sleep. That's probably why. Okay, so let's do a test play. Hi Peter Apple, how are you doing? That town looks pretty cool. Thank you very much. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Okay, so let's go in our test play. Finally get to see some test play, yay! Okay, so we're mainly doing battle tests today. We're not going to have sound on or anything. Even though we do want the battles to have sound effects and stuff, obviously. But at the moment, we're kind of focusing on the skills and the balance, making sure that's working, and all the effects and stuff I'll do at another time once that's all finished and working. So yeah, I don't use the test play in the actual database because we have a custom hero. It kind of is really messed up if we use the database test play. So I do go in the game to test the battles. But I've put the sprites right here next to so we can go straight in the battle. They won't normally be here. This isn't their proper position, but obviously for speed, I've just stuck them there for now. So we'll do the B test play first. Okay, so this is our Queen Bee. So she's a little bit towards the back, and the reason why she's like far back is because the ones that she's going to summon are going to be in front of her, and we need the room for them. So yeah, this is an example of why our battles are a little bit simple and vanilla at the moment, because Jesus is a warrior. He just like punches at the moment. We want him to have his axe and stuff. That'll be really cool. And I'm not sure how far RPG Maker can go in terms of having their weapon and making it look awesome with the weapon. I've got to look into it. I know you can at least the easiest way would probably to just find an axe asset and stick it on his battle animation somewhere maybe, but we'll see. I've got to look into ways to do it. That'll be credible. Yay, Elite sorted something out for Kaz. Yay. Okay. Oh, good pun, Storm. Hi Billy, how are you doing today? Hope you're having a wonderful day. Okay, so as you can see, she just spawned another one, and the problem is this I'm going to do a battle as if I was a terrible gamer and was doing it all wrong. So this is what you don't do. You don't hit them first. You've got to kill the bee, because she's going to summon. She's just going to keep summoning, you see. And now she uses Ominous Drone on them all then. Once she's summoned all four of them, she uses the drone, and that increases the attack power and they get even stronger. So it's like crap, you get overwhelmed. But let's escape this battle and do it how we should do it. But I kind of wanted to do it like that to just test that it works properly. But hang on, we'll kill her first. We'll actually kill her. But we might die first. We might get killed because we suck. But I'm glad that worked. Game over. Let's do it the proper way. So, this is how we should do it. I kind of wanted to make the worker bees a bit weaker, but I don't know if that's necessary. I think it works fine as it is. So yeah, she's dead now, and that's it. No more. Oh, Jesus! Probably because he hadn't healed himself. Right, let's exit and do it again. Fail. You can assign starting equipped, and there should be an axe swinging animation built into the game. Oh, okay. I didn't know it was that simple. But yeah, that's one thing I want to do. It's really important because this kind of game so far is very class focused, and they've all got their unique individual weapons, and it'll be so cool to be able to show off the weapons in battle. So yeah, that is definitely one thing I want to do to make the battle system better. And I know Yanfly's got a load of plugins too, and I will be subscribing to Yanfly's Patreon, because recently Yanfly, who is the creator of all the plugins on RPG Maker, the most popular ones anyway, they gave their plugins away for free until last week, and now you have to pay I think $5 on their Patreon to get access to the library, which is fair enough in my opinion. They've got very good quality plugins, and there was some problems, people apparently stealing the plugins and doing bad things with them, and obviously that isn't good. $50 for pack, but patrons is $5 or $10, I think. Oh, okay, so you can actually buy the whole pack up front, but you can also get it on pay. I'll look into it, but I won't be downloading any of the plugins today because I need to obviously figure out how I'm going to buy them first. But I will obviously be getting them because Raindrop Chronicles is important, and I can afford it. You guys, out of the subscriptions that people give me on Twitch, I can definitely have room in my budget to afford it. Hi Binary, how you doing? You were hiding there, I see, Binary, because your name is the same colour as Storm Eagles. How are you doing today? Hope you're having a good day. I have them free, but out of respect I can't give them out. Oh, that's totally understandable, Storm. Jesus ripped off his cross and became a bodybuilder and went to hunt bees with legs and hands. Good, thanks. Hi Juice, how you doing? Again, looks beautiful. One thing I want to do as well with this battle scene is put more flowers. I want more flowers because the Everbloom Forest has a lot of flowers, and at the moment we have a few, but I want even more. So we're going to do the bee the proper way now. We get the chance to attack her once before she spawns, which is pretty cool. It makes things a lot easier for us. One thing I'm wondering now, we might obviously if she spawns worker bees, you might get more class points if you kill those than if you just kill the bee. You know what I mean? Some people might want to fix the battle so that they let her spawn things so that they can get more class points. That's the trick. That's a way to fix things and get and grind, I guess. Because I suppose your class points will be based on the amount, like the enemies you kill. That's probably how we're going to do it. I'm glad you're good. Oops, I told you all the cheat method. I should have kept that a secret. Would anyone have known that? I suppose you would have worked it out yourselves. You guys are smart. Ferret, how's it going? Weasel and Ferret, I love it. You guys should be a duo. Yeah, at the moment it says Jesus gains 173 class points. Obviously, he's not going to be gaining that many in the battle when we sort out the thing properly. No way will he be getting that many. So now we'll test the flower. So this guy we was working on yesterday. And I put 2 in battle for now. That feels like a decent balance. So they use something called photosynthesis, which we all know what photosynthesis is. And it's a self-heal every turn. And it's a pretty awkward battle actually, because pollen puke lowers accuracy. And I'm not sure if we're going to keep that as the debuff. If anybody has a better one than low in accuracy, let me know, because I feel like low in accuracy, this pollen puke is literally just blind in disguise. I don't know if we should do that, but I don't know. And it's quite irritating as well, because we keep missing because of our lowered accuracy, and they're healing. But that could be interesting. Some people might like that it's hard to beat the flowers. But yeah, self-healing every time combined with low accuracy, almost missing all the time, it can be very irritating for some. Mean flowers, like they're all basically full health now. Maybe it's because they used pollen puke twice, once each. I've only given them enough MP so they can each use it once. But it's probably like stacked, hasn't it? And made his like hit percentage 0% now. Yeah, because he's like literally missing every single time. And obviously the flowers aren't very strong at the moment. They're hitting with 0. So I have to make them a bit stronger too. Pollen puke is also doing damage. Oh, is it elite? Well noticed. I don't want pollen puke to damage. It can just be a debuff, so I'll alter that. Weaseling around. Should always attack the most powerful enemy first. Yeah, for sure. Why is Streamlabs OBS being a massive butt face? Because it's not letting me scroll back and seeing the rest of chat. There we go. Time to form a group and fight crime, Weasel. Yeah. Maybe change the accuracy drop from 20% instead of 50%. Yeah, especially if they use pollen puke. If there's 2 of them and they each use pollen puke, if it stacks, then it's going to be impossible to beat them if it's 50%. So yeah, cool. We'll do that then. We'll test play it again, Elite. Power of Musk. Just a suggestion is to make the flower more interesting is make that it heals passively each turn but can only heal its allies. It would mean the flowers always start the battle with other units which are not flower enemies. Okay, that's interesting, Storm. The only problem is I wouldn't know what other enemies to put them with, and But the idea of combining enemy types, like having flowers with bees or having them with, you know, another enemy in the Everbloom Forest is interesting, and I do want to explore that mechanic. Even though we have the mapping counters that show the silhouette flower, I kind of like that the silhouettes show you what enemy you're going to be fighting, you see. And if you end up with flowers and some other random enemy, I suppose that'll take people by surprise, but doesn't matter. I mean, we could always stick a silhouette of the other enemy next to the flower as well and have them disappear together once the battle's been finished. But yeah, we haven't experimented with that yet. If you've noticed, we've just got the toxic plants together, the mushrooms together, the bees together, and the flowers together. We haven't like mixed and matched different enemy types, but obviously that would be super cool to do that, especially as we go through dungeons and that, because accuracy early on is a frustrating thing. Yeah, and I'm unsure about the accuracy debuff anyway, just because we've already got a poison status effect in this dungeon that the toxic plant's going to give us, and it just seems cruel to have another ability that is blind in disguise. Having poison and blind this early on is a bit mean. So yeah, maybe we should. I'm kind of tempted to have pollen puke do something else, maybe, or be some other kind of a skill. Well, in Pokemon games, a silhouette means that it's the most powerful enemy. For example, a Machamp attacks, but there's also Machokes in there. Yeah, thing is though, we don't really know who's more powerful out of flowers and the bees. They're both kind of powerful in their own way, I suppose. Like, our enemies, all our mobs we've got so far, where are they? I wouldn't say one of them was stronger than the other. They all have different mechanics and stuff. But we could do it. So, say like, we decide to have, I don't know, a bee with the flower. We can just like have them together, I suppose, and whatever one you run into leads to the same battle, and then they both disappear at the end. I mean, that is if we want to be realistic about it and have it so that the right silhouette matches up with the battle. That's one way to do it, I suppose. So, because I can be weird like that. But yeah. Pollen puke increases the magic defense of all allies and physical defense of allies. Explanation: pollen sticks out onto the flower's allies and it becomes like temporary. Okay, I'm going to properly read those in a sec. I'm a bit distracted. Thank you for the follow, Shid. I appreciate that. Right, so let's get our avatars back because I've realised that they're missing. There we go. We're all back. Okay, so I'm going to read your descriptions for the skills and take it in properly this time. Right, increase the magic defense of all allies or physical defense of allies. Explanation: pollen sticks to the flowers allies and it becomes like temporary armor. Okay, so it generally will, your idea is to have pollen puke be a sort of defense increase, whether it's magical or physical. And that kind of makes sense, I guess, that it could be a temporary armour. But that means the puking pollen on themselves. The puking pollen on themselves. I mean, we could have it so pollen puke lowers the defence of the player. That's a simple way to do it, I suppose. That's a bit less frustrating than the lowering of accuracy. Because it's more, you can get around it a bit more with lowered defense. I think it's crueler to have them miss in battle then. Yeah, so, but the one thing I've just remembered, we have a deer, don't we, that gives diseased bite, and I think that lowers players' defense. Maybe we should make that be a lower player attack. Because I'm only because I'm super fussy. Let me just get the deer up now. And I don't like enemies having attacks that are copies of other enemies in the same dungeon. I don't know if you guys agree with me on that. Maybe you think it doesn't matter if pollen puke is literally the same as disease bite, but sometimes I like to vary things up a bit. So we could always just make disease bite different and then make pollen puke be a lower player's defense and change disease bite to something else. Just for the variety. Miss the playtest. We'll probably be doing it again, Illuminated Space. We'll be doing a few playtests today, for sure. It's like string shot. What is string shot? Is it Pokemon? I really want to play the new Pokemon game. Okay, so I'm going to read what you said earlier about the healing. Make heals passively turn, but only can heal allies. It would mean the flowers start battle with other units which are not flower enemies. What we could do then, I think it would be really interesting to mix the flower with the bees. I don't know about you, but like the first battle in Winding Way could be just the bee, the queen bee on its own, summoning the workers, but then the next encounter could be a bee with a flower there, with the queen bee, and that flower heals the queen bee, so it's harder to kill that queen bee as fast like it was before, because the flower is healing it, sort of thing. What do you reckon? The problem is, it can't, if we go for that route, it wouldn't be photosynthesis anymore, would it? Because the reason it's called photosynthesis is because it's for itself, being a self-heal thing, like the flower, with how it reacts to the sun and stuff. But it wouldn't have the same. It would be flawed to keep it called photosynthesis if it healed a bee instead of itself. I guess we might need to change its name. What was it called originally? I think it was called something else originally, but I forgot the name of it. Absorbs sunlight. That's the same as photosynthesis, so that would be flawed too. Lowers the speed of an enemy. Oh yeah. Have we got a lower speed one yet? We have a oh yeah, Spore Blast lowers the player's speed, so that does that job. We're kind of covering a few. It'll be good, I think, to have pollen puke as a lower defense or even lower attack. Actually, I'm thinking lower attack now for pollen puke. Would that make sense? Pollen could get on the weapons, I suppose, and make them weaker. So lowering attack could work too, as a concept. Because the reason why I'm starting to think lower attack could work now is because if we have a flower with a bee and it's healing the queen and the attack's also lowered, that will make it even harder. So, can we get some major love for Elite in chat? He's helping such a tremendous way with a few projects I'm working on to yeah, Elite's a fantastic human. I mean, he's been super supportive in this stream in the short time he's been here too. This is why I like to raid him quite often. As the sort of, obviously because I appreciate that he's doing an RPG Maker project, and I love to see people doing that because I'm doing it as well, and he looks really cool and awesome, and I want more people to know about it, but also because he's been super supportive too, so it's kind of like a thank you as well. So I agree, Kaz, we should give some major love for Elite. What about Venus Flytrap with a queen bee in its mouth that spawns for worker bees? Oh my goodness. We could go really far with this. I love your creativity, Cheese. As I said, it stirs some passive healing, but it also gets a skill which heals its allies and not the flower itself. Oh, okay, so you're saying it could still have photosynthesis? Oh, right, I misread then. I read it as that we have it so they just heal other enemies and not themselves. I get it. So you're saying we'll add another one? Maybe we should get rid of Petal Slice then. I mean, that means they don't attack at all. But if they're combined with the bee anyway, the worker bees would be doing the attacking on the field. So it's not like we'd need them to attack if they're more of a supportive ally sort of enemy. Because I want to keep the 3 skills per enemy we see. So we're going to have photosynthesis, pollen puke, and one that does a healing for other enemies. And I suppose we might have to get rid of Petal Slice. We'll chat about it and see what we think's the best way. How about raises its own defense? That will make it tough to kill with a region. I love pollen puke. I was going to say I love pollen puke, so I don't want to get rid of pollen puke. So I want to keep that. I just love the name. But Petal Slice, I'm not too attached to that one, even though I still like that one. That will make it tough to kill with a region. The one reason I don't want to do raise its own defense is because we've already had that mechanic with the toxic plant with Leave Me Alone. So just for variety, I kind of want to make sure we've explored a variety of mechanics. So that's the only reason why I probably won't do the raised defense. Appreciate everything you do, Rose. You inspired me to start streaming again. Yay, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear it, Elite. Forgot Leave Me Out. It's fine, guys. We all forget what each of the enemies do, so don't worry about it. But it is nice to have a variety of different skills that do different things. So what were we saying? What should we go with? Let's lowers players. We could do a self-healing thing and a healing of allies too. But yeah, we're going to have to replace one of the skills. But I do like the pollen puke. And if we have if we change it to raise, yeah, we could, yeah, we'll have, I don't know. I'm being indecisive now because there's so many routes we could take. The cat tormentor, kitty cam. One sec, guys. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna just do an idea of how we can do things now. But if you're welcome to say, chat, if you think I should change things up. I'm going to just edit the current descriptions to what we've just talked about. So I'm going to remove Petal Slice as a skill, because the only reason I'm doing this it means that the flower is rubbish now in battle and it doesn't actually attack. It's more of a support. And this will be heal allies. So I don't know what we'd call that yet, but basically if we're going to pair this flower up with the bee, that's who they'd heal, the bees, and also themselves with photosynthesis. And pollen puke, change it so it's not lowering accuracy but lowering players' attack instead, and it just gives that extra difficulty to kill off the bees and the workers if the attack's a bit lowered. And especially when the queen bee uses ominous drone as well, because that raises the allies' attack power. So maybe this will be too OP, but it could work. Hi, which name? Welcome. Are you creating the monsters or just the spells? Monsters are all kind of decided. We decided which monsters we were going to have several weeks ago, or maybe it was months ago. Now it was a while ago anyway. We did a poll and a vote for what monsters to have, and now we're just figuring out the skills and we're getting them all balanced right and trying to be creative and come up with some cool ideas. Welcome to the stream. Bomb of something. Yeah, I'm up for name suggestions. Feel free to give any name for a good healing spell that is related to a flower. Something that I do love, names that are related to the enemy that they are. We could probably put the new queen bee asset in here as well, actually update it, because at the moment we've just got it so it's the old bee. So I think we can just, yeah, we can do that. That works fine. So these work a bit differently. These don't have the traditional 3 skills, but when they're put together, they do. So it don't matter anyway. They're a little bit different to the other enemies. Helvetica, that's alright. I wish the other font stayed the same. Thank you, Solarium, for that follow. Welcome. Welcome, new peoples. I'm going to give you the project command chat, so you know all about our project if you want to have a little read. We have an FAQ Google Doc at the moment with some social medias, but we will be getting a website in the coming weeks, and it's going to be a lot better. It's going to be much better than what we've currently got. And hi Kung, how are you doing? I hope you're having a good day. Aromatherapy. What does aromatherapy mean again? I forgot. I feel like a noob. I've heard of the word loads of times though. It's a good one. So yeah, worker bee. Because this is the same battle, I don't need. Kind of want to put them together, but it doesn't matter. I think it's straightforward. I hope it's straightforward. We all know that that's the same battle, don't we? I don't know how else to present it. But yeah, that's all sorted. That's updated. So, yeah. So a good plan would to be have the first battle in Winding Way be the queen bee, and then the second battle the queen bee with a flower. And we'll see how that works. Or even the first 2 battles be the queen bee and then the flower join them on the later on in Winding Way. And if you don't know what Winding Way is, it's this area of the Everbloom Forest. This is the area where you encounter the bees and the flowers. The Blessed Cascade, there's mushrooms and toxic plants here. So and Silent Haven, the one before our first cutscene, where we meet Rose in the cage, we have the same enemies again. So So we have mushrooms, toxic plants, bees, and the flowers. So let's get back to our... Running a quick error. Yay! Good luck. Hope it goes well. Aromatherapy is a healing treatment using natural plant to promote health and well-being. Sometimes it's... Okay, we could have that. Heal allies. I definitely like the idea of having very foresty, planty, floral type of names. And obviously healing as well, and any name that's related or closely linked as much as possible. Like, I love fungal fury because mushrooms are fungus, aren't they? Yeah. Right, so I think we're okay with that. Should we edit our skills in the database now to what we've updated them to? And we'll do a test battle with the flower and the bee together and see how that goes. And then we can move on to these guys. I'd love to spend the second half of the stream thing really getting these guys' skills thought out, and maybe even starting to add those into the database too. Healing Spring. That's cool too. When I think of spring, I think of water-based enemies. But I suppose Everbloom Forest in a way. It's got its waterfalls. But none of the enemies actually are water-based. We did have a mermaid that was a potential enemy that could have been here, but people didn't give the mermaid votes. Nobody wanted the mermaid, but maybe we'll have a mermaid in a future dungeon that's more water-related. Thank you, Witch Name, for the follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, either of them could do well. Yours was a decent one as well, Kaz. Probably just stick with the aromatherapy just because we already decided on it. So, but yeah, we could always use that for a future healing spell for sure. If you want just flower troops, I made withered flower. Oh my goodness, that flower looks dead. That's really cool. That's really cool. What sort of use do you think that could come into? It's poor flower. I nearly felt really sad looking at it. But yeah, like honestly, that we could add something like that. I just want to have a use for it, like a dead flower on the field. Aromatherapy and other moves can be yoga and hot spa. Yeah, we're going to end up having like a spa as a dungeon at this rate. We can have all sorts of dungeons in this game over time. Somebody said a volcano. I'm totally for having a volcano dungeon in this game. Okay, so let's go back in RPG Maker and get these new updated skills put in. But I like the withered flower. I wanna use it. I wanna have a good use for it. I'm trying to think of something creative now to have that flower, because we didn't even think of having a queen bee or two different types of bee until yesterday's stream. But then once we had like the swarm skill and we were thinking of the mechanics for that we came up with the idea to split the bees and have a queen bee and work bees. Cucumbers, mud bath. Has anyone ever had like that? I've not. I'm very basic. I've not had any like spa treatment or anything. The most I've ever had is I put my feet in a bowl with fish in and they were biting on my feet. It was like really a weird feeling. If you need small edits, just call me for the job, as I love dumb edits. Oh, that's awesome, Storm Eagle. I really like it. I'm impressed. I saw the flower and I'm fond of it, and now I want to make a use for it. I mean, we don't have to use that flower now or the bee with legs, but it's making me think of side quests, you know what I mean? Because this will be, the Everbloom Forest will be an area that is going to have some side quests in it too. We'll go back to Lakefall and the NPCs will give out side quests, and who knows, maybe the enemies could be different based on the side quest, and we could have a bit of lore and story behind why the enemies are like that and stuff. Because I like the bee with legs, and maybe because the bee just really wants to be a human. It's a Pokemon. It's evolved. If you need help with JavaScript, let me know. Awesome. Cheese, are you a JS Pro, Cheese? You were going to be doing an RPG Maker project, weren't you, Cheese? I swear you said you were. Or unless I was having a dream. Been in the spa a couple of times, going this weekend. Oh, the hubby doesn't know. Mum's spoiling us. What would he come with you? Would he go to the spa with you? would he have like a mud bath? Or was that B move, which is more damage based on allies left? Oh yeah, there was. We were gonna have I mean, we don't have to have it now, but we could always have it for a future enemy in another dungeon. We don't have to fit it in now because we've kind of edited the bee so much, and especially now we might have a couple of battles with the flowers as well. It might be too much if we add that as well now, but we can definitely, I love that mechanic, Storm, for another enemy in the future, because we're going to have loads of enemies, aren't we, over time, and we'll have to think of creative things and stuff to do. So but yeah, let's get these in. I love human thing like breathing. I want to make sure I've got those assets still. I don't want to lose them that you've done, Storm. So I'm gonna make sure I've got those links. But you could always pop them in the Discord if you want. Can knock something together, should be easy to count remaining allies. Pop message. You guys are fantastic. Thank you for all the help. Like, it makes things a hell of a lot easier to know that I've got people knowing what they're doing, because this skills stuff to me is very a new thing. I'm the one that likes doing stories. I'm less good at the math side of things, but it's a very important part of RPG games, of course. We've got to have it. So I'm glad we've got peeps that know their stuff. Okay, so where were we? We changed. What did we change now? I need to remind myself. Yeah, it was just the flower. We kept the bee mechanics, didn't we? I think we did anyway. So the flower. Let's look at the skills. Photosynthesis. We keep in photosynthesis, aren't we? Yeah, 25% HP. So we're going to add a new skill called aromatherapy, and we're going to replace petal slice with that. It kind of that means that the flower is officially just an enemy that doesn't attack. They're more of a support class now. They heal themselves and they heal their allies. And they also, pollen puke's going to be changed as well. We'll do that first. So lower player's attack. Lowers attack of the target. We can add, I think that's a debuff, isn't it? So is this the right one we need? Because there was another one, wasn't there? There's a grow one, but that only increases it, I believe. I don't think it lets us go into minus numbers, does it? Because that's what I used for the Leave Me Alone. But there is a debuff for attack 5 turns, and I assume that's the one that will do the job. Just use the default debuffs for the basic battle debuffs. Yeah, so that I'm on the right track, I assume. The one that you put up. Yeah, cool. The only reason I'm unsure about it is because it's based on the turns rather than how many stages or... Like, the one thing I do like about the Leave Me Alone is it allowed me to increase the defence by how much I wanted to increase it. So I put +3, and I think I did the same for another one, but I forgot what it was. Although for Spore Blast, the one that lowers the speed, I've just used agility debuff, so I might as well just do it the same way for Pollen Puke. It's all good. Okay, so if I do something wrong, let me know, of course, in case I misunderstand. But yeah, I think you mean that, Storm. I think you mean that type is fine. You could do the same, but you need to do a bit digging up in the Yang Flies plugin. Oh, okay. Yeah, Yang Flies got so many cool battle plugins, and I'm sure I'll be using many of them over time. Okay, so Pollen Puke we've edited, so we're going to change petal size now to aromatherapy, which is a word that it's a hard thing to spell. I think I've done it. And the description for that is heal allies. And we haven't got a healing spell so far. So obviously we're going to have it as allies. Should we have it being a one that heals all together? Oh my god, that would be so OP. Or just one at a time. Which one should we go for? All. Whoa. That would be OP. It's like, who'd you kill first? The flower or the queen bee? Because this flower's blooming lethal if you can do things like this. You won't know to kill first. I'd say queen bee's definitely the first one you kill, maybe. But then the queen bee would still be getting healed by the flower. So maybe the flower's the first one you have to kill, actually. And then the bee. Yanfly's the Jesus of RPG Maker, I know, right? It wouldn't be anywhere close to what it is without Yanfly. Yay. Welcome back, Elite. I think I already said it, but you know, sometimes when you stream, I don't know if you guys, those of you that have streamed, ever feel like this, but you forget sometimes if you've said thank you or welcome back to someone. And sometimes I think maybe I've said it twice. Okay, so at the moment I've got the scope on all allies, but we can, when we do a battle test, if it does feel a bit OP, we can always alter that. But I do kind of like the idea of making the flower quite OP, because then it kind of encourages the player to kill the flower first, and then before the queen bee, even though the queen bee is deadly as well, so it's very challenging. And type, it would be HP recover? None, because it isn't an attack, right? I've not done a heal skill yet, so I'm probably going to be a noob at this. I'm just doing what I assume I have to do, which is have it as HP recover and have it as allies. So I'm not sure if there's anything else I need. Yeah, we're not going to have it as a normal attack. So yeah, recover. So it'd be recover HP, and how much HP would the recover if it's all allies? Oh my god, not 100%. My goodness. Maybe we'll have it as 50 for now. Imagine if we had it as 100% heal. Aromatherapy would be like the most crazy healing thing ever. But we could always lower it, but it gives us room to test. We can lower it or raise it depending on if we think it needs to. And I'm not giving it any MP at the moment. I kind of feel like Pollen Puke is the MP cost. And because the flower only has 10 HP anyway. 10 MP, I mean. Make the variant 0 and about 35 to 50. Oh, yeah, so it's not the same every time. Good idea. So, how does variance work? Because I've got, let me get this up so we can see. So I've got, here's the pop-up. You set the tabbed HP recovery and added a healing on effect, so the healing will be 50 plus attack and have variance. Don't do it in the effects. Oh, okay. Yeah, I assumed that there was probably some mistakes and I'd have known that I was during the battle test. But should we get rid of that then? If we've got it there, we don't need it there then, I assume. Have it empty. But I'm not sure with the oh, here's the variance. There it is. Only just noticed. Should we have it as 30% then? Or should we have it as 450? Have it as 50 maybe. You have an idea, Kung? What's that? And use the formula section. My goodness, I'm a noob at the formula section. This is the bit that scared me from skills, seeing that. Because I thought bloody algebra and maths, I escaped that at school. And it's back. Welcome back, last member. I mean, thank you for the follow, last member. Oh my goodness, I'm getting all my words wrong. You haven't been to the stream before and I'm saying welcome back. I'm a big silly, you know that about me if you've been here a while. Make the variance 0 and replace that formula with just 50. Okay. So, how do you mean 50? As in just put 50 there in formula? Because it's an attack and defense formula at the moment. So it's not even relevant to what it is. I'm just very confused with the formula stuff. Hi Sierra, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Got excited then because Sierra's here. Variance makes this the thing. If variance is 50% and the skill heals 50, it means the skill can heal 25 or 75. Yeah, just 50 base number. Cool. So literally just that. It's easy peasy. Thought I had to put in some really complex like equation or something. I'm glad it's just that. But yeah, I think variance is cool because we don't want it to the heal amounts to be the same every time because that's too predictable then. Got to have a little bit of RNG. Otherwise everything, you know, it's just the same every single battle. It's over 9,000. What's over 9,000? Oh my god. 9,000 is a big number. We could use mast cells as a name as they're the ones getting activated, like in allergies. Oh, what skill do you think would suit that name, Kung? Which one? Pollen puke. I love pollen puke. I'm not renaming that one because I love it so much. I don't know, I just think it's a very silly name and I love it with all my heart. But damn, Kung, any skill names, or if anyone else has skill names, I'm going to write them down because I do. Where is it? Let's get it up. I have a skill name thing here, so I can add anything that is suggested here. We can use it for any of the other enemies because we're going to have. We'll probably. I mean, we've got 3 enemies here. I mean, I don't know if it'll be relevant with them because they're more tree type of enemies rather than plants, but there'll be times in the game when we can reuse when we have them type of enemies again, I'm sure. Doing maths. Yup. Anyone from a flower? So, I usually do a thing where I have ideas for verse words and ideas for second words, but I'm going to put a section here saying names suggested by community. Just because you never know, we might need some ideas and it's good to have them there. I've lost it now. Silly OBS. But yeah, we are full with, we got the 3 skills we want anyway. And if I wasn't as in love as I was with pollen puke, then maybe. I'm obsessed with pollen puke. Finally, someone who understands and doesn't call me boring for doing that. Oh, you're not boring at all, Storm. Everybody's got their interests. We're all different, aren't we? Damage calculators are so much fun to play with. I'm I'm just glad that I've got some maths geniuses in my chat. I'd be stuck otherwise. Sorry, just Scatterbrain here. Hi and fun to see your stream again. It's fun to see you as well, Sierra. I hope you're having a good week. The ninja in Banzai Heroes has a lot of weird damage calcs for their skills, using agility and luck and so forth. Maybe one day I'll become a maths genius from RPG, mate. I doubt it, but it'd be funny if I did. Right, where were we then? We've done what we need to. Is that enough then? I assume that's all we need to do, I hope so. We've got HP recover, so hopefully that does the job. A battle test will tell us whether it does or not. So let's just... We got the enemies set up properly. Right, so at the moment, let's just go back on our other screen so we can see it bigger. Photosynthesis, turn 1, always uses that. Pollen puke, always, yeah. And that's being changed now. That lowers the attack. We don't have the accuracy thing anymore, and I'm a bit happier about that. So we just need to think what to add the condition and the rating is for aromatherapy. Like, how often shall they do those heals, I guess? I suppose pretty often, I assume. She thinks we're geniuses. You are. More than me. That makes you geniuses. We're not, apart from you, a real genius master. You control cats with the flippers of switch. My sister's got some cats now. She's took in some strays. That's really, really sweet to do that, isn't it? Okay, so I don't know what to have it on. I honestly don't know what to have it. We could leave it as it is and see how often it comes up in battle. Once they've used pollen puke anyway, they'll be using that all the time, I think. Pollen puke's just the first one, and because they'll run out of MP once they've used that once, and then that'll leave them with just aromatherapy to use as a skill. So I assume that's how it'll go. So troops. Now we need to get another battle setting. So this one will be the Queen Bee. Oh, we need to put them there as well, though, don't we? Can we copy and paste? Okay, so that's the same. Yeah, literally the same battle, except with a flower added. So probably here behind. Everything's a bit squishy. We might have to move things across. But it's a little bit squishy at the moment. So how's that? If I say it all up right, I hope so. Let's we can do a test right now, and I'm going to put bee and flower. I just have this like weird feeling that there's a mistake, and I'll be like, damn. So we need to change that one to that one. So that's that one there. Let's do a test play. Cats are random. I like cats and I like doggos. Go away, plant. We're not fighting you. Yeah, it's all a bit squishy at the moment. The flower and the bee are really far back, and I'd like them to be a bit more forward, but we do need enough room for the bees that get summoned, so we'll have to just think of a good way to position them. And I'm going to just hide the avatars because I do like the avatars up, but during the test play it's probably best they're out of the way so things don't get confusing because people think they're in the game. Okay, so let's see how this goes. Yeah, it's all squishy. So what happens if we go for the bee first? Did they just use photosynthesis then? Pollen puke. I'm just going to defend because I want to see how this all works out. Oh, for some reason the other bee didn't summon. It did then. Oh, okay. The reason it used Ominous Drone before the fourth one got summoned is because the flower was also a fourth enemy on the field. So, because I've got it set up, the AI, so that it only uses the drone ability once there's 4 enemies on the field. Which is difficult now because now there is... yeah. So that's one little problem. Okay, so it used aromatherapy and it healed them all with 50. There's a lot of information I'm having to take in here. Sounds okay to me. A limit of 5 enemies is quite high. Well, the thing is you can do this battle with just like 3 enemies if you kill the right things first. So it's all about how smart you are. This is doing it wrong if you don't kill the queen bee fast enough. But there's a few little... aromatherapy seems to just be healing with 50 straight out. There's no variation. Which is, I mean, we don't have to have variation, but sometimes it's nice to have a bit of variation so the battles aren't a clone of each other. There's an anime with Jesus in it. You think the healing should be 30? Yeah. One thing we do need to do is make sure... We'll just get rid of this for now and we'll go back and do another test play in a sec. But what it is... Let's go in the skill. It's the drone one. I have it set up. Where is it? Where have I got it set up now? I'm confused. Oh, here. Troop alive members 4, and then it uses it. And I do like that AI plugin. It's Yan Flies, because it just lets me... them use a skill at a certain point depending on how many enemies are on the field, and it worked quite well because they used the drone at the right time when all of them got summoned. But I know it's not working anymore now we've got the flower. Unless there's a way we can have it there depending on the battle. Pardon me. You didn't add the variants. Oh, I thought it says keep it at 0. Where is it? Aromatherapy. Who agrees? Should we have variants or should we not? What do you reckon? And that heals with straight at 50, doesn't it? And I don't even think the bees have that much health. They only have 15. So, yeah. You like the variants? Okay. So, we could have, if it's 15, it might be still too OP to have that, but we'll say, we'll test. You agree with Elite? Yeah, well, it seems like people have said variance is good, so we'll do that. Justin, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Okay, so at the moment I've got it on 50% variance, but we can always alter that if we find it's too less or too little when we do a test play. Thank you for the follow. Oh no, am I getting bot followed? Am I getting spam botted again? Or are these real people? Welcome Taylor and Ram. I'm just paranoid because a few weeks ago I got spam botted and I got about 30 follows quite fast, but they were all bots. But if you're real, I'm very happy. I'm a real person. Yay, Tyler and Ron are real. Welcome to the stream. It's always lovely to see that there's people are real and not bots. Welcome to the stream. If you want to know about the project, you're welcome to have a little read of that so you know what it's about. We have an FAQ page, but we've got a website on the way, and I'm really excited to get that launched properly so I can show that to people who come to the stream for the first time. I'm real. Hi Vand, welcome to the stream as well. So if anyone is new, the ! Project Command will tell you everything. Tell us about yourselves, new peoples. Do you like RPG games? Do you make games? Do you like stories and characters? Okay, so where were we? Okay, so we'll change that to that. I'm probably going to sort a few little buggy bits with this battle off stream because some things I'm going to need a little bit of focus to get my head around. For example, this, where is it? I'm still getting used to all the menus. I forget if something's in the skills menu or the enemies or the troops menu sometimes. I would like to make an RPG Maker title myself. I was thinking about it as a way to prototype to make one in Unity later on. Awesome. I say you should totally go for it. And Elite is saying go for it too. We've got some folks here in chat who also are making their own games as well. So I'll encourage you to do that too. Have an incredible rest of your stream. Thanks for the help, everyone. Got to go back to work. Have a good day at work, Kaz, and thanks for hanging out with us. It's always a good to have you here. Have an awesome day. The 5 healing will be too little, Rose. Will it? Because I'm not sure how it works. I'm judging by HP because the bees have 15. But does it do it percentage wise? If it does, then that would be too little. I agree. I was unaware if it's. Where am I even looking here? There we go. If that's percentage or HP based, that's that number. But if it's percentage, it should be probably 30 or 50. Thank you. Love your stream. Yeah, I'm glad. Thank you very much. That's very kind. Just got the Humble Bundle with RPG Maker, so I was starting to figure out how to use it. Oh, awesome. Yeah, that Humble Bundle was an awesome sale, wasn't it? And I believe it's also on sale on Steam at the moment. I had a friend saying Discord this morning that RPG Maker's on the Steam stats. I can't speak today because this time of year is great for Steam sales for sure. Gonna be between 2 and 7 with 50% variance. Oh, okay. So let me know what you think a good number would be, because Storm, you seem to know how this works, so definitely feel free to tell me a good figure to put here. Because with me, I'm going to have to do a few battle tests before I realise what the right figure is, but you probably know already. Didn't know the beast HP was wrong. I was wrong. 5 will be okay. Oh, okay, yeah. I wondered then if it was done on percentage or HP. Yeah, don't worry. I only just remembered myself that the bees only had 15 HP too, because yeah, it's a very low HP for an enemy, but I purposely give them low numbers so that we got more potential to have gradually stronger enemies throughout many dungeons. If we go too high too fast, then we limit ourselves. I love Humble Bundle. Yeah, Humble Bundle's awesome. I have a very complicated idea involving several different words, but I'm pretty sure that that's not realisable by one person team, so I'm thinking of simple ideas. Yeah, sometimes it's a good idea to start small and see where it takes you. I mean, I know when I first started this project, ideas that I had were a lot simpler, but I got excited and other people got excited, so we've kind of gone all out even more than I first thought we would. But that's fun. I'm having a blast. RPG Maker's great for a one-person team as well. It's very possible to create something as a one-person team in this software, especially with all the resources that are available. So it's a great one to go for. I thought the bee had 100 HP. Yeah, well, it's all good now. We can have it as that. Okay, so we're going to do another battle test. We'll see how it goes. We'll do a couple of battle tests, and I'm going to make some notes about things that need to be edited. So chat, when we do this battle test, if there's anything you spot that you feel's a bit not right, that needs editing, let me know, and I'll make a note of it, because I'll probably be doing some of these edits off stream as well. Oh my goodness, True Baldy, thank you for the sub for 2 months in a row. Can we have some hype for True Baldy, chat? It's lovely to see you stop by. I hope you're having an awesome week, True Baldy. Let's see that hype. I appreciate the resub, True Baldy. I like supporting charities. Yay! If you want the healing to scale, type this in the formula. B.MHP. Okay, I'm going to make a note of that. Storm Eagle means it will heal 10% of target's HP. Cool. Thank you for letting me know that, because I'm sure it's going to come in handy. Right, so battle test time. And I really want to, once we've done this battle test and I made notes of edits, how to change the battle made, because it's not going to be perfect. We're going to have another little peek at our little... Where are they? Here they are. We're going to have a little talk about these 3 guys again, because I'd really like to get some skill ideas in mind for these. We could even start adding those skills in the database. But yeah, the flower isn't 100% sorted yet. There's a little bug in the battle for me that I want to sort out with the AI, but I think it's almost there at least. And yeah, they're a little bit squishy. I'm going to go back in the troops menu and make them a bit less squashed. So what I'm going to do is... see how that is. Probably just have to mess about with the positioning, because yeah, they feel like they're all way at the back as they were before. So I resubbed to the sub you gifted me, by the way. Yeah, appreciate that, Elite. Thank you for your support. Such a cute doll. You like my mark? Yeah, I'm a big Final Fantasy fan. I'm so much of a fan of Final Fantasy that I've made my bit badges Final Fantasy themed as well. As you can see, Elite has Terra from Final Fantasy 6 as his bit badge, and there's you'll see others pop up, other characters. There's some Sephiroth, some Clouds, and a Vivi. She wants a cactus. I've got a list of about 10 plushes that I want. There's loads. Did you do the artwork? Nope. I kind of mostly use assets and resources from people who, like, I forgot what his name was. What was it? Storm Eagle, the battler. The guy that creates the battlers. He's got like a Patreon and everything of all his assets, and because it just saves me a lot of time to not have to do them myself. And the nature of our project is quite fast paced compared to most game development projects. We want to get things out quickly. We're planning for an episode 1 release the first half of next year. And if I did all my own assets, it would probably not be in 2020 at all that you'd be seeing episode 1. So it gets things out a bit faster this way. It lets us concentrate on a variety of things, doesn't it, in game dev. That's it, Storm Eagle's got it. And thanks for giving the link. You can get free bits by watching ads and pressing the get bits button. Then you have a cool bit badge too. Yeah, thank you, Elite. One thing I wish was that us British folk had the ability to watch ads for bits, because I would be grinding them all day. All the bits I have given Rose are free ad bits. Show your appreciation. Yay. Appreciate the support, Elite. For sure. Watching ads can be a very boring thing, so appreciate that you watch them to give me bits. Okay, so let's do a test play. We had for a time, not anymore. Why did we get banned from them? I would like keep a stash of bits for ads, and I'd watch them like a couple of times a week, and so I could have my stash. That sucks. I'm gonna make sure we get them, because it ain't fair. All my support comes from my hard-earned money. True Bold is rich. He's a rich man. For sure, to be able to afford all the gift subs he's given all his favourite streamers. It's insane and amazingly generous. That's why it had some. Not sure why Sierra told me, but I've forgotten. True Baldy is a harder. He is. He loves his job as well. True Baldy's got a passion for music as well on the side, haven't you, True Baldy? Feel free to share your music in the Creative Work channel in the Discord as well, True Baldy. Okay, so this is the one we're testing. Why are they still squashed? I moved them more across and they're still stuck at the far left of the screen. Okay, so really you want to kill the white flower first. Who agrees? But I'm not going to, because I want to test. I said I was going to write down the problems with the battle, but I haven't. And there's a few already I've spotted. Okay, so it's manic. This battle's absolutely manic. I don't even know what's going on. So much is happening. There is a lot going on. Part of me wonders if we should keep photosynthesis, you know, just because, I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking maybe this battle's got too much happening in it now. Because the bees itself are quite complex. And a lot going on with all the summons, and I suppose I'm just thinking that, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll be fine as long as the player's introduced to the bees first on their own before the flower. Photosynthesis is a bit nutty. It would be okay, like say if it was just the flowers and they had their petal slice attack as they were before, I think it'd be fine. But I think with the bees having photosynthesis and the heal thing, and the attack debuff, and the drone, and the summoning, and there's like a lot going on in one battle. So I think we might need to simplify the flower. Maybe just get rid of photosynthesis. Maybe because of the rating of the attacks. Do you think that might be the reason? But one thing I have noticed just from this test play alone, there's just so much happening. I'm like, whoa, I can't even think about if this is working or not, because there's just one attack after another. Oh, it's crazy. And I know that's probably because we've got them all spawned and you're meant to kill the queen bee first, but still, it's a bit manic for sure. So we can chat about how what you think would be a good idea now, what we all think could be a good idea to make that battle a bit better. little bit tidier, I guess, and then we can discuss the deer and the stump and the tree. Okay, so let's read what you guys have said. But why the flower only spamming aromatherapy? I thought it had pollen puke. Well, it used pollen puke once because pollen puke costs, I think, 10 MP, and the flower has 10 MP, which means it can only use pollen puke once. And it only needs to use it once anyway, because once the attack debuff is on the player, it's on the player, and it's useless if he uses it again. So yeah, at that point he just spams aromatherapy because he's already used his MP up for pollen puke. So could lower the rating of aromatherapy. Pollen puke was at 4. Yeah, that is the reason why aromatherapy is just getting spammed. And I mean, it might be okay if it was spammed, but if the HP gained was a lot lower, I guess. Maybe we have to make it super weak. It's a tough encounter because you want to kill the healer and the summoner both by turn 2, which makes it interesting for sure. I love the concept that we've got. We've got to just, I suppose, tidy it up. Be careful, a lot of people are mad if you let Jesus die. I know, right? Oh my goodness. I'll get shouted at on social media. I'll be like, that Rose Rainblood. How dare she let Jesus die? To reduce the rating of aromatherapy and the summon skill so they are used less. Mana ran out. If you have the skill cost script, you can make it so the healing costs HP of the flower itself. Okay. Hang on, I'm trying to work out what that means because I'm a little bit confused. What sort of healing do you have in mind then that does? Just a bit, my mind has gone a blank again. But I guess I'm trying to figure out what you guys are imagining here, because from the sounds of what you've said in chat, you think aromatherapy shouldn't be spammed, right? That's what I'm getting at. But the reason why it's getting spammed is because it's the only skill left. There's no other skill for the flower to use because pollen puke MP's used up, and really we don't need pollen puke to be used more than once anyway, because it's a debuff that only needs to be used once. Give it a cooldown. So you're saying that it could be good that the flower does nothing for some turns? Can that even be possible for the flower to do nothing? And remove the pollen puke MP, but give it a 2-turn cooldown. It's a flower, it looks cute. Pollen puke doesn't need to be used more than once, does it though? They've got the attack debuff and that's it. So let's have a look. Let's go in our skill thing. Oh, my mouse is getting stuck. So, flower. We currently got it on this. Let's think about how we should have it set as. The attack debuff can stack up to 2 times. That's how normal debuffs work. Oh, okay. So it doesn't matter if I get it now. I saw it as once you've got a debuff, you've got it and it doesn't get stacked. But if there's a stacking mechanic, then yeah. Then it's totally fine to use pollen puke again then. I see. So yeah, we should, if that's the case, if we got a stacking thing, we can remove the MP cost. So where are we? Pollen puke. Have it as 0. Me back. Welcome back, Neffel. How are you doing? Hope you had a good BRB. Oh, okay, so it's not in there by default then, but you need the plugin. That makes sense then. That's why I thought it was pointless to have pollen puke be more than once. I'm going to make a note of these Yan5 plugins you mentioned. So, stack plugin, Yanfly, and cooldown plugin. Zarko, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. With plugins you can make it more than 2 times, so 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, cool. You mean with the stacks? Awesome. So I've put that down just so I remember about that plugin. And so what else shall we edit now? I've got rid of the MP on pollen puke, so that will solve that problem. You can normally stack up to 2 times the plugin can enable more than that. Yeah, and I do like the stat mechanic. I think that's really cool. Just makes the debuffs and stuff more interesting. Alright, so I'm trying to think. We need to still simplify this battle. Even with pollen puke used more than once, it's still going to be manic as hell. So, anybody got any thoughts about skills that we could potentially remove that we don't need? Who thinks photosynthesis is too much? I really liked photosynthesis as a concept. I thought it was interesting to have the whole self-heal flower thing. But at the same time, it just makes the battle too manic to have that while it's with the bees. So, maybe we should remove that. What do you guys reckon? But then we'd literally just have pollen puke and aromatherapy. But I asked, didn't I? So is there any turns that the flower could do nothing? Can we do that so that the flower has turns where it's missed and just stands there? Because that would help make things less manic as well. Make photosynthesis only last 2 turns at the start of battle and decrease the HP of the flower to 15. Okay. What's your reasoning for decreasing the HP? Just so it's easier to kill? Okay, so at the moment, it does it every turn, doesn't it, photosynthesis? It's a stat, isn't it? That's what we have it as. Yeah, every turn. A state, I mean, not a stat. So this is where we do the duration thing, I assume. Am I right? You can make a blank skill that does nothing and make its rating about equal to others. Then give blank skill and there will be rounds where it does nothing. Oh, okay, that's a creative way to do it, I guess. That makes sense for sure. But it's for sure because the battle just seems too manic, so I feel like definitely the flower should just stand there a lot of the time and just be a healer. More than anything for the bees. Pardon me. But I'm still thinking maybe aromatherapy needs to be less OP. Otherwise it's going to be really hard to kill those worker bees. So how many turns do you reckon would be good? Just 2? Do you reckon that's underpowered though for photosynthesis? Especially because the first turn doesn't really count because it's got full health anyway. Or does it do it does it do that after it's already been attacked? I can't remember now. Does that mean 3 turns? I honestly don't know. I'm confused. What's the second box? Number of turns the effect stay less, counting processing the number of turns is run at the end. Okay, so I'm just assuming that means 3 turns, but I'm probably got that wrong. And at the moment, aromatherapy heals with 5, but there's a variance on there. Maybe we should have 30% as the variance instead. Because healing with potentially 7 for the bees is like half their health if they've got 15 HP. And that's a lot of healing. We'll never kill them. We would never kill them at all. So we could always test this now and see how this works, but we could... I suppose we could add another blank skill. We could add a blank skill here, but how are we going to do that? It's a pity that we can't just like say add skill and it moves everything down, right? We have to like literally move everything down. Would it do things okay? I hope so. I'm a little bit concerned with this skill stuff. There we go. That's fine. They've all gone where they should. That's easy then. I thought it'd mess things up. I thought moving everything down one position would screw with the skills, but it hasn't. Everything's fine. So we got a blank skill there now. Make it the formula I gave you. It will be percentage based, but instead make 0.1, make 2 point. Okay, we'll scale each monster and you won't have to think about the balance. Let's have a look then. So it's B.M HP. Okay, so this literally just will go here. So we'll see what it's like with that first. Is that correct? I hope so. And the variance is okay to keep as it is too. Let me know. And blank skill. So I literally just leave it blank. Pop it in here. And even though he's technically got 4 skills now, it don't matter. Because, or, you know, I could like put it somewhere else. I could like literally just put this blank skill up at the top. And it could be a generic blank skill that any enemy uses if I want to like have them have empty terms. It's not just for the flower alone. This could be useful for many enemies. So I could always just move the position of it if I want to be tidier about it. Where were we? Okay, blank skill. It was gauged once you want and need to think about the balance. So 0.2 will be 20% of the beat and it will be about 3 HP. Okay. I'm a little bit confused, but I'm sure it'll make sense when I do a battle test. I'm always the person that has to see things visually. So I'm not sure what tab the rating has for this one. Do you know if I'm kind of like not sure if I want pollen puke to stack though. Maybe that'll be too cruel this early on to do that. So I'm still tempted to just let them use it once. Now we've got the blank skill. It's not like we need pollen puke to fill up the aroma, like be used instead of aromatherapy, because we can do it so that the blank skill's used instead. If that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense. So I have like set it up so they can only use it once again. But the stacking thing will be super useful for other debuffs. Maybe in some harder later dungeons will show that mechanic is a thing. But in the Everbloom Forest, maybe it's mean to do that. So I'm thinking, what should we have the rating for this as? I don't know. It's going to take some experimenting, maybe. Going for that at the moment. I don't know if that's what we should have it as, but I'm a sort of trial and error person. I do a test battle. If it doesn't work, I change things a bazillion times until I get it how I want it to be. Oh, okay, make it 2 or 3 in priority. Okay, so it's on 3 at the moment. Blank being 5, foul will be AFK most of the time. What about 4? Or should we make it 5? What do you reckon? Can have it as 5, I guess. Well, we'll do some testing. We'll do a test now and see how it goes. And hopefully the battle's a bit less manic now. We'll have a look. Oh, he died. I'm purposely not going to kill the flower because I want to see. Oh, okay, so there's a little bit of a glitch there. When he does use the empty skill, it does come up at the top that he's used a skill. It's just blank and there's nothing there. And he does move forward as well. Did the bee not spawn anything? So yeah, it's kind of obvious that he's using a blank skill. If that could be tidied up and literally the bar doesn't appear and he just stays rooted to the spot, then it would probably look a little bit better visually. You can make the skill name loafing around. Like, oh yeah, something related to the flower. Maybe a sort of, what would a good name for a flower being lazy mean? I mean, like, I'm trying to imagine a good name for a flower being a lazy flower. Something flower related would be cool. That's a cool way to do it though. Or use a Yanfly. Is there a Yanfly plugin to have that then? Like sort of turns where they don't do anything. Because if there is, I'll probably just get that. Because the only issue is, I mean, I do like the creativity behind having a skill like that where it does nothing and just has a name like life and around, but again, it could make things be a bit manic, like because when we've got all the bees on the field as it is, it's just another extra skill that could confuse players. Absorbing the sunlight. Yeah, absorbing sunlight was our default skill for the flower before we changed it to photosynthesis. Hi Graham, how are you doing? But yeah, if there is a Yanfly plugin, I'll probably just do it that way instead. That battle seemed weird because none of the bees got spawned. But guys, if there's anything you feel I need to do in that battle, if anything you feel is a cert that I need to work on with that flower and bee battle, let me know now. Because I want to spend the rest of the stream discussing these 3 enemies here. Let me get them up. Here they are. I want to get these enemies' skills sorted out. But yeah, please tell me if there's anything. But I will be messing with the bees and the bee and the flower battle off stream, getting it tidied up, so we can get that done and dusted. It removes the message in the movement, I think, on the battle one. Okay, awesome. So I'll note that plugin. I mean, I'm not sure what the name of it is, but I'll find it for sure. I'll just type in removes. Okay, so we got a few Yanfly plugins downloaded. The stacking one, the cooldown one, and that one that you've just mentioned. Okay, so we got these guys now, and did we change the disease bite mechanic? We did. So what pollen puke is now lower players attack, so that was fine, and this can stay as lower players defense. That's all cool. So we've got a normal little attack for the deer called charge, and it's literally he'll ram into the player with his antlers, so we'll have to have a cool animation and sound effect for that maybe. And disease bite, because it's got rabies. The deer Raz is an evil deer full of rabies. He's not a cute deer, so it's okay to kill him, I promise. And so they're easy to do. There's nothing really too hard for those 2 skills, but we was a little bit like unsure what a 3rd skill for the deer could be, but it would be so awesome if there was something really interesting we could do with the deer. And yeah, Stumpy, we was a little bit stuck with Stumpy. All I knew now was that I wanted an attack to be called Growl, because I thought that would fit in quite well, but I have no idea what Growl would do. And we had a bit more idea for the tree. Thunderous Bark. It was originally just called Bark, but I wanted it to be a bit more descriptive sounding. So he literally just roars, like does a bark, and it's perfect because he's a tree that barks like a dog. So it's great. And it's a debuff, passive. So it'll stun the player every 2 turns. I don't know if that's going to be too OP to do it every 2 turns. But we'll see. We'll have to balance and see. And then I thought something like Entangle is a normal attack. And then an AoE earth damage one maybe. But we'll have a little think about what we can do to make these skills interesting now for the rest of the stream. Yanfly, let me introduce myself and my plugins. Don't know if this is a fun skill or a tedious one, but for some reason it fits how he looks. Spook, it has a low chance bet, and then he uses it. He spooks the player and forces to end the battle. That's pretty cool. Do you mean for our little Stumpy would suit Spook? Because that's what I'm imagining. Spook for Stumpy. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you think the deer is the spoofy one. But yeah, I'm imagining Stumpy. Yeah, we're on the right. We're in agreement there then. So has a low chance that he use it. He spooks the plan, forces it. That sounds quite creative. If I'm imagining the battle could just end. There's a chance. But what would it do other than that? Would that literally be the only mechanic of spook? He'd use it and it could potentially end the battle, or would it do something else as well, like an attack? Or he looks like that Pokemon. Yeah, we can use. I love the idea of you looking at Pokemon and being inspired by their skills as well, for sure. Because Pokemon is great with skills. Some sort of attack, growl, or end the battle. Okay, so Spook. Let's put that as his. Yeah, that's the first skill maybe. If it's going to be a normal attack, but with a chance of ending a battle. Is that how we should describe it? Okay. I'm trying to imagine now what that attack would be. Would he just growl, do you reckon? If so, maybe we don't need growl if it's gonna but we'll do question mark for that. It's going to be a common event. It's an actual event called Abort Battle. Okay, so it's not too bad to set up. Then let's just have a peek of that in RPG Maker now, so I know what I'm doing. I'm going to actually put that there ready, so I know that it's a common event. Abort Battle. Is it somewhere here? I assume. I'm still getting the hang of where everything is here. There it is, Abort Battle. So, there we go, Abort Battle. But we'll have to do some sort of, I suppose, a chance. We have to make sure that it doesn't always do it. We don't want it 100% doing it. There'll be a percentage for it then. And I mean, I'm not sure how to do that right now, but I'll look into it for sure. If you're, unless Storm gives me a brief guide, but I've no issue at all looking at the forums or any guides at all to figure out how to do things if you ever have to go AFK or anything, Storm, so don't worry. You can make a conditional branch call, so yeah, I'm a bit of a noob at knowing how to do percentage chances though, unless there's another idea you have in mind for how to handle. Oh yeah, you can't see it, that's because we have to go on this menu for that. So There we go. There's so many, I have no idea even where to start with which one to do it for. Use the variable option, okay, so we're going to make a new variable. Skill spook, we'll call it. And have it as 0. Should we have an else branch? I assume, yeah. Oh, constant 2, okay. I'll learn something from this, I'm sure. We'll get our little avatars up. And before the conditional branch, make a variable option. Control variables, I assume. Go to random. I thought it'd be game data, but I was wrong. Here we go. So this is where we do the percentage chance, and that makes sense. So the question is, what numbers do we put in these little boxes? So it says, let's just read the description. Uses a random value to specify values. Okay. Between 1 and 3, 4, 5, 6. The higher the second number, the lower the chance. Okay. So 1 in the first box and 3 in the second. Am I missing something here? Do you mean I'm confused? We're halfway there, are you? Congrats, Cheese Weasel. Okay, so obviously we don't want it to be a huge chance. I don't even know what percentage I have in mind. I suppose 20% could be a good one, I don't know. For example, if it rolls 3, it won't go through as the conditional branch will. 1, 2. For now, set it from 1 to 3, it will be a third chance. Oh, okay, so that's what it means, 1 out of 3 chance. I get it now. I was a bit confused by what the numbers meant, but now I understand. So do you think 1 in 3 is good, or should we have 1 in 4 or 1 in 5? I'm not sure, actually. I suppose we want players to know about this mechanic. If we don't have it be high enough, people won't know that Spook can do this. Maybe make a branch of ours test failed. GG though, Cheese, for getting the halfway to the raindrops. Okay. And now add this onto a skin and test it. Awesome. So basically what it means is Spook is 2. And because 2 falls in between 1 and 3, that's why it's the third chance. Because if it has to be 2, not 1 or 3. I think that's what I'm imagining anyway. Hope I got it right. So, skills. Here he is, Stumpy, my favourite character. Spook. Now let's get the description put in. And common event. I don't know what I'm doing now. I remember this bit from yesterday. And that's it, is it? Is that all we need to do? Just attach the common event to it? So what this means is variable rise between 1 and 3 in the conditional branch axis. If you got two, it will abort the battle. But if you got 1 or 3, it will trigger else and show a message test file. Yeah, okay, that's exactly what I thought it was, which I'm glad about because that means I understand. So I'm glad we've got that sorted for Spook, our little Stumpy. We haven't. We could do a test play for him if we get time and see if that works, but I don't mind doing that test play off stream either, because I do also want to see if we can think of some other skills for these guys and get ideas for them in. And any of the skill making I can always do off stream, and I'll let you guys know on tomorrow's stream how it goes, and we'll do the test plays then. And all going well, maybe I'll have it all set up properly, but if not, we'll do some test plays tomorrow. Ooh, Liquid, well done getting those raindrops. Thank you for the stream. You're welcome, Van. Still got a bit longer though, guys. I'm not going quite yet, but if you need to go, of course. I hope you have an awesome day. And it should work, but if you feel like the chance is too high, you can increase the number from 3 to a high one. Yeah, I feel like we should change the description. We'll get rid of low, because it's not really a low chance, is it? If it's 1 in 3, or even if it's 1 in 5, it's not low. So we'll just say normal attack with a chance of scaring the player and ending the battle. That means that Stumpy is, he's quite a fearsome creature. If he can scare the player to flee the battle. But he's scary, look at him. And I like it. It's a super unique skill. I like it. Good idea. Also, skill, get rid of that. So let's see if we can think of anything else that's cool. I'm also thinking of the because I think our friend here, Stumpy, is quite unique. Now I still have no clue what we should have for his other skills, but he's pretty creative with that skill alone. The other two could be very generic, and it doesn't really matter because that's a very cool, unique skill. But I want the deer to be unique. I found this. I was looking at forums and I'm seeing what other people did for interesting enemies for ideas. It can be inspired by other games as well, like Pokemon. If anybody's got in mind a unique skill in Pokemon or any other game, and we could take that as an example. I always really liked the counter attack in Final Fantasy VII with the first boss, the Scorpion boss in Final Fantasy VII. Like, he had his tail up, but I feel like that's a good mechanic for a boss rather than a little enemy mob, for sure. But I like the idea of only being able to hitting an enemy when it looks a certain way, but if it's like looks different, you don't hit him, just like the Scorpion in Final Fantasy VII. Stumpy looks so cute, and his Spook would be like a panda sneeze. Stumpy reminds me of this Pokemon. Let's have a look. I'm gonna say and get him up. Oops, wrong screen. I was switching to my other screen, so I can get this up without any. Okay, here we go. Yeah, he's Spoopy's brother. I'm calling him Spoopy now when his name's Stumpy. Oh my goodness. Phantom. Yeah, that's really cool. Totally, yeah, we should totally be inspired by Pokemon. I'm not gonna lie, when I was making the mushroom and toxic plant, I was looking at grass Pokemon for ideas, for sure. I hatched a perfect shiny Phantom. Yeah, out of all these enemies, Stumpy's my favourite out of them all. I like the deer too, but not so much now because it's got rabies, so I don't like it as much anymore. The flower's just a pain in the butt. He's a little annoying enemy, the flower is. It's like, go away. Then I was playing through Gen 6 and him, and yeah, that's awesome. But his Spook would be like a panda sneeze. I want to make a note of that because so I remember, because then I can make sure that we got it like that. So it's really not scary then if he's doing, but he is scary, but not, he's adorable. It's funny because he scares the player by being adorable, and that's quite funny, when really the real scary one is this guy here, this big tree. Rose, add Stumpy to the corner of the stream for tomorrow for our cuties. We'll have a Stumpy stream dedicated, a tribute to him. You know, I won't rule out having streams like that, like a tribute to some of the characters sometimes, or some of the NPCs or enemies. We could totally do that. Tomorrow can be a Stump stream. Maybe we should dedicate our 60th stream to Stump, actually. How about we do that? 60th stream can be a Stump stream. We should have had him as our Halloween stream, shouldn't we? It would have been perfect. Stumpy Appreciation Day. He's a little spoopy boy. He tries so hard. Stumpy 60, that's perfect. Because tomorrow is the 58th stream, is it tomorrow? It's the 57th today. And I feel like a Stumpy stream should be a special stream, like 60. Stumpy 60, it fits. So let's go for that, guys. What day would that fall on? Monday would be the 49th. It'll be next Tuesday then. Next Tuesday. I'm gonna make a note of that. And he'll be next to me on the stream. Stumpy waddles towards you to spook you but trips over the route. Yeah. So, considering we're talking so much about Stumpy at the moment, we need to think of some cool skills for him. Has anybody got any adorable skill ideas for Stumpy? But that's so cool, Storm Eagle. It would be so cool if he actually fell over. Maybe we should have a skill where he falls over. Oh my goodness. How would we even pull that off? I would have to do an animation of him falling over. Wouldn't even know where to begin. Some kind of sap attack. Awesome. What could you imagine that sap attack doing? Because we could have the sap attack be the normal attack or anything like that, and have Spook just be a growl, I guess. It could either be a debuff or it could just end the battle, maybe. Who knows? Doesn't necessarily have to. Because I don't imagine Spook, if he did a growl, that wouldn't do damage, would it? It would be more of a... I could imagine it as more of a debuff, actually, rather than being an attack. If he growls. As it does a little panda sort of noise. Laser eyes. Slowing or poison, but sap could seep into his veins and cause instant death. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't want to make him too high. Instant death is a great skill and a really cool idea, but he could be too OP, and it is still quite an easy dungeon. But we can definitely have things like that in the future, really badass dungeons with really scary enemies. Insta death would be great. Maple syrup attack. Oh my goodness, that's so cool. Maple syrup. So should we go for a sap at maple syrup normal attack thing? Well, how would that work? What sort of animation would that be? I look like Bayonetta. That's a cosplayer. That's a massive compliment. Thank you very much, Gram. She's a badass lady. Maybe a slow attack based on sticky syrup. Sticky syrup's a really cool name. Oh my goodness. Should we have sticky syrup? I'll just pop it down here. And we could have sticky syrup. You're saying a slow attack. I'm kind of a bit reluctant to have too many debuffs this early on. But we could do it so it lowers player speed, I guess. That does the same thing as slow. And the only reason why I'm a bit reluctant to introduce too many debuffs is because we already have poison. This little toxic plant guy gives poison. And if we have blind, slow, insta-death, It would make the first 100 of the game really, really mean. But we could like always have a debuff for sure, something that does. I mean, we already have Spore Bass, which lowers player speed though, and I don't want it to be a clone of that, but we can think of something cool. I love the name Sticky Syrup, like a splodge from the sky or a shot of his fingers. Yeah, and that could work too. Like, I'm gonna note that down because I like to remember sound effects and animation ideas. So easy to forget. And then I'm like, oh no, what should that have been? So, Sticky Syrup, splodge from the sky, or out of fingers. Either could work, for sure. So, yeah, the only thing is what sort of debuff it should be. I'm going to just put debuff for now, but for what? I just can imagine now a really cute attack where he falls over, but I just can't think of any attack that would work. But I just think we got to make him adorable. How can we make him do something adorable? I want an adorable skill idea for that third one. Sticky Fingers, should we call it Sticky Fingers instead? What do you guys think? Because that's really cool too. If it comes from his fingers, then it should totally be Sticky Fingers. Because at the end of the day, if it's, you know, he's a tree sap, it would kind of come out his fingers. That's the realistic approach for it. So should we do it? Should we call it Sticky Fingers? I think that's quite cute. We want to make him as adorable as possible. Thank you very much, guys, for your creativity and helping me come up with these cool names. Pancake Shield. Oh my goodness, he's literally going to be the maple syrup baddie at this rate. The only things I can think of cute for his attacks: Waddle has a chance to disable the basic attack for 1 to 2 turns. Sticky Sneeze slows enemies. So that's really cool. I like that we've got Sticky Fingers. I suppose that would work as similar to Sticky Sneeze. Waddle is a really cute name. I'll kind of want to do that now, but hang on, let me get an understanding of how it works because I'm a bit confuzzled. Disables the basic attack. Do you mean disables the player's attack, like Jesus and Roses, so they can't attack at all? Is that what you mean? We need to have a protective pancake shield, absorbs the syrup. Oh my goodness. Maybe this guy should have that. Pancake shield. Because I'm unsure about Entangle as and not having that. We could always have a pancake shield because this guy's big. And it could be interesting to have like a sort of shield protection kind of attack for him. Only because Little Stumpy's attacks are all taken up now. Just use skills in guard, or can disable guard because he's too cute. Well, he's too cute to be attacked in all reality, so it would totally make sense that would disable attack. So I'm going to type in that description. Okay, have I typed that in right for 1 or 2 turns? Question: Is Waddle just a normal attack, like he'd waddle up to the party and just slap him with his stump? And then, but it also has a chance of doing that additionally. So just so it has something to do other than just the chance of disabling something, otherwise it might not work and then it makes poor Stumpy useless if it doesn't work. So I can call it normal attack with a chance. Okay, so Spook, did we say that could be a growl instead of a normal attack and it would be more of a sort of debuff. I can't remember what we said about that now, but I'm sure I mentioned it should be a growl because he's going to do like a little panda growl, didn't we say that? Speaking of rare drops, pancake shield. I love protective pancake shield. I could use one every morning with a guy. Yeah, and the animation would be like a sort of maple syrup coloured barrier, wouldn't it, for that? I think we should do that for this guy because he's big and he wants his shield, and it can be a big massive pancake shield. I like it. It's wacky, and I know it's absolutely bonkers actually having this as an ability, but this game is going to have silly things, you know, silly cute things. I encourage that. I mean, we got Leave Me Alone. That's our first enemy we kind of introduced that were a bit silly, and we give puns to the skills. What should we say? It seems very popular. Looking at what chat have said, people like the idea of having this as a skill. How about a smear slide attack? He slides his syrup over to the player and slaps him with his sticky fingers. Yeah, the sticky fingers animation could be perfect for that. I'm gonna make a note of that. So he said splodge from sky or out of fingers, or slaps with sticky fingers. Hang on, I'm gonna literally write a lot of it down so I can look at this after stream. Slides on syrup over. Also, I'll change that to sticky fingers. You probably can't see these notes because my head's in the way. But I'm literally just writing your ideas for the animations down so I remember. And if you've got sound effect ideas too to go with these animations, feel free to say as well. Because I think it was Storm suggested a panda sneeze for the spook attack. Panda sneeze sound. That would be so cute. Slides on syrup over to player and slaps him with sticky fingers. I love it. And yeah, so there's a few little things we got to tidy up with him because I don't know if Spook's going to be a normal attack. It's either could be a normal attack or debuff. I haven't decided yet. Sticky fingers could be a debuff, maybe, but with kind of too many debuffs. Some will have to be attacks. Yeah, Waddle is going to be a normal attack. He will. I assume Waddle would just be Waddles over, as you know, and just walks over and attacks or something. Just a normal attack, basically. What should we have as our description for Pet Protective Pancake Shield then, guys? And for the AO Earth Elemental, I thought that would be really cool to introduce the AoE thing to the game, because this will be the first enemy that does AoE out of all of them. But we just couldn't think of a name for it. Bramble Roots. Deal AoE damage to all enemies, but only has 8%. Okay, guys, this is awesome. Looks like you're coming up with all the ideas. Let's get these in. I'm going to just catch up with chat. If it hits, always does that, but the skill itself has a high dodge chance. Okay, which one has the high dodge chance, do you reckon? Let me know and I'll put that in the description. Always applies to a buff, but the attack itself can miss. Stumpy is such a cute tree. Looks like his dad. If you hit, yeah, that's his daddy. That is his daddy. And he's going to be very mad because the reason he fights you is because you killed Stumpy. That's why he's here, for revenge. I'm going to really cry when I kill Stumpy in the game. I'm not going to like that. I'm going to want to escape battle so we don't have to kill him. I'm going to hope that he spooks me. The big tree AoE attack, Bramble Roots. Okay, let's get this in. So you said something about an attack that has a high dodge chance, but I don't know which one you mean, but let me know because that sounds pretty cool. And I like the idea of having a name that is to do with roots as well, because that's something trees have. So that's cool. AoE Earth Elemental damage to all enemies, but has only 80% accuracy. Okay, so there's chance of missing. I'm going to put in brackets 80% accuracy. Because then it stops being a little bit too OP, doesn't it? Which is good. So yeah, protected pancake shield. I can't remember what you guys said it does now. I know it's going to be a barrier, but I forgot if you said it had anything special about it other than being a barrier shield. No, it might be a bit far back in chat now, so feel free to say a good idea for the protected pancake shield. Hey Rose, thanks for stream, and thank you going out for beers. Oh my goodness, Cheese, have an awesome night. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. I've had a really fun stream today. I do like that we've only got a little bit of time left to stream. We've still got time. Don't worry, we've still got a bit longer, but let's get these skills sorted before we go. I do like the rare drop being that pancake shield item. Okay, so what rare drop do you have in mind? Hang on, let's clear this rare drop business up because I'm intrigued myself. So would the rare drop literally be called pancake shield? And it would be a pancake shield? Is that what you're saying? It would just be a shield item, because we do have a knight in the game who will be our sword and shield person. We haven't met him yet, but maybe we could get it for when he does join the party, if that's what you've got in mind anyway. Because when I think of shield, yeah, but it's not going to be a physical shield. That's the thing. Like the pancake shield I had in mind was just a barrier, but it could be a real shield too. I don't know. We've all got a vision for it, I guess. Right, let me see. What passive could be that shield? Protective shield gives a 20 HP shield. Oh, yeah. Maybe Stumpy could somehow survive being killed and be a secret playable character later in the game. Oh my god. I mean, maybe we'll meet him again. Yeah. That sounds cool. We only have magic when fighting Stumpy and Dad. Only attack, I mean, like an item after the battle. Pancake shield gives small region. Yeah, I'm going to copy and paste that name and I'm going to put drop. So, a rare item drop. And you're imagining it as a shield, right? An actual shield that the knight would equip. Or am I, if you guys got another, would it be an accessory for you guys or something else? Because it could be an accessory too. I know. Because the problem is if we limit it to the knight, then only he can use it, and he's not even in the party yet, and he might not even be in the party for a while. So, shield pair could use that, and it's totally fine if we save it there for him, but it could also work as an accessory maybe, if we want it to be a bit more generic and for anybody to be able to use it. Hi Mo, welcome to the stream. Maurizio, welcome. What are we building? I'll give you the command to read if you'd like. Feel free to have a read of that, or anybody that's lurking and is curious. The project command will tell you all. I call a drop being something you win after battle. Yeah, so it'd be rare. We'll have to have a think about that when we think about items, because we will be having an item stream sometime this month. Very likely sometime this month we'll have an item stream once we've got all the skills out of the way and that's done and dusted for this area. Items will be something we'll want to talk about, because we're going to want to consider battle rewards and items that are around the field in the Everbloom Forest, and also what's going to be sold in the shops in Lakefall, because we haven't discussed that at all yet, so that'll be super cool to do. And we'll bring up, I've made a note of this pancake shield, so we'll definitely discuss that again when we have our item shield. I mean, item stream. I'm not even speaking properly. I almost would be amused by a real shield with a small square of butter on the centre. Oh my goodness, I'm copying and pasting that. I love your creative ideas. This is bonkers. And although, yeah, like we take assets that are already existing, I don't mind making edits to the assets. And Storm Eagle said he likes making asset edits as well. So we can always be a bit creative and add something like that to an asset for sure. maybe it could be an accessory because it would be more efficient for the whole party. Yeah, so that's what I thought. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in brackets either shield for the knight class or accessory if we want to be more if we want it to have more use for whole party. So we could go either direction. I guess it's whatever we decide is better. We could always put up a poll in the item stream when we have that to decide for sure what the shield is going to be, either an accessory or a shield for the knight. We'll do a vote for that when the time's right. Okay, Stumpy doesn't need to die, and here is how. Make Stumpy immune to death, but then Stumpy has 0% HP. Give him a skill with priority of 9 that makes him run away. Oh my goodness, I'm all for this. Who's for saving Stumpy? Then Stumpy lives. He drops some gold coins and some experience on the ground. Well, he'll drop. Don't forget we have raindrops as our currency. Well, if you were here in earlier streams, you probably know that. Newer people won't know about the currency concept of our game, but we have a liquid currency. We don't have solid currency, and it's raindrops, and so that means the only things enemies do drop is loot. Money, the currency, the raindrops will be gained from selling loot to shopkeepers or from doing like hunts. You'll get raindrops as a reward from doing hunts. Like that will be a separate kind of quest. So that's a sort of idea of how to gain the raindrops rather than get them as a drop from battles. But yeah, loot is definitely going to be something that's dropped by enemies. Like Stumpy would drop something relevant to what he is. Maybe a little bit of tree bark. He'll leave a bit of tree bark behind or something. I'm sure there's something more awesome. He could leave a sticky finger behind. That would fit for a bit of some loot. We're going to have a crafting system, and the loot's going to really come in handy for the crafting system that we'll have for sure, with a common event attached to the skill. Okay guys, so before we end stream, let's talk about how Stumpy can live. So what do we need to do? Let's get my thinking cap on. Right. Stumpy doesn't need to die, and here is how. Make Stumpy immune to death, but then Stumpy has 0% HP. Give him a skill priority 9 minutes. Okay, let's think. Let's do this a step at a time because there's a lot of info there. Yeah, Stumpy can run, so he doesn't die, but goes to Tasbury Tree gets mad. Yeah, I'm glad he's gonna live. I'm very glad. But the big tree's still mad, and that's why he attacks us. Could do an if then statement. If knight gives shield version, if other give accessory that does the same thing. Maybe. I mean, the knight is just not going to be in the party at all until later on in the game. But we could always have it so it could be either. For sure, that we don't have to. We can talk about that for sure, but I'm going to copy and paste what you said. All this stuff that's being said in chat at the moment is very, very handy to note down for sure. So yes, he gets beat down, becomes a companion or maybe a pet. Oh my goodness! Imagine, because we have. Let's have a quick peek at this. We have a summoner and Beastmaster class that aren't currently confirmed in the game, but they might be in the game in the future. What about if Stumpy got summoned by the Beastmaster or the summoner? That could be a possibility. We could have him as a summon. Well, I would not say no to that. I will make you a pre-made skill. Oh my goodness, thank you so much, Storm Eagle. Yeah, because we are having to close up the stream now, so this is why we're all getting a bit rushed for time. But thank you, Storm Eagle. If you could send me that information in the Discord, in the skill discussion channel, that would be absolutely fantastic, and I'll get it set up. So we've got it decided: Thunderous Spark, Protective Pancake Shield. What did we say about Protective Pancake Shield again? I forgot. What is it? What are the mechanics going to be with it? because we'll get that written down so we'll remember. We got that sorted, so that's all fine. Stumpy's a bit messy. We still need to decide what's a normal attack and what's a debuff and what the debuff's going to be, but at least we've got his skills sorted. We've got a basic idea for them. And it's just the deer, just thinking what that third skill for the deer could be. And then we're like nearly there. We're really close to getting this sorted. We've got to just get the skills point up. RPG can make sure the battles are balanced and working well. You would implement this by checking if an attack would reduce his health to make sure he doesn't die, but instead instructs everything with this attack and to run as soon as possible. Okay, so A squared. Storm, is that helpful? What A squared says about the stumpy thing? And give him special, awesome. Hopefully, because I'm a little bit clueless on how the skill works, so I'm going to need a bit more time to get my head around it. But I think Storm knows what he's doing and he's getting a pre-made skill set up. How easy is RPG Maker to use? Great. If you're anything like me, if you're like a aspiring game dev who's not really a coder or doesn't have a coding background, it's perfect. Because it's you kind of have to have a little bit of knowledge to how to put things together, of course, otherwise it could be a bit overwhelming. But overall, it's great for someone who's less experienced with game dev or new to it and wants to get a project made relatively quickly. Because Unity and all that, it's a very large learning curve with that, and it's more time consuming. But I definitely recommend it. So I'm gonna give you the program command. Have a little look at that and see if it's to your liking. And I think there's a sale on Steam at the moment, so I've been told. So now's the time to get it. I don't know exactly how to implement it. I'm used to lower end code. Well, it's totally fine. Squared. I mean, it's still helpful, and it's still helpful for sure. And hopefully Storm Eagle's read that so that we can. But I think he has a good idea what he's doing anyway. But thanks for hanging out, guys. Who would like to join in with a raid and say hi to another streamer? I think I would like to do that. So I've got this document saved if anyone wants to have a peek at the enemy. I think this is the panorama enemy skills. If you want to have a look, that is what we was just looking at. That's the whole document of the enemy skills we got. So if you want to have a look, and if you do have any ideas for particularly the deer, because that's the one we're a bit stuck on with that last skill, we've got a skill discussion channel on Discord, and we hang out in the Discord in between streams if anybody does have anything to say. It's the perfect place to say something. And we got a creative work channel for you guys to post your creative stuff on. We got an adorable pets channel, and we've got a few things, selfie channel as well. And I'm creating a skill with some comments so you understand what's going on. Awesome, that is so helpful. Thank you so much. You've been an absolute asset, and I appreciate you. So yeah, adorable pets. So if you want to see cute pets, or if you want to show us your pets, get in the Discord and show us them, because we love to see cute pets. So get the raid command ready. Oh yeah, and if you guys want to follow me on Twitter as well, we have a Twitter that I have and one for the game as well, so feel free to follow. You'll super be appreciated. But we're going to go say hi to somebody. I'm going to get Twitch up and see who's online today for us to say hi to. I'm very hungry and I didn't get my almond milk today. Thank you so much for Sunstream. Let's do a Twitter raid. Should we go say hi to our well, I don't know if you guys know her. You should know her because she's pretty influence on this platform. Her name is Inochi Fantasy. What is she playing today? So it seems like she's playing a waifu game, judging by the thumbnail. So if you like waifus, she should definitely come along. So I'm gonna get her stream up to make sure that she's not gone offline or anything. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the music because otherwise I'm not gonna hear the stream. Right, so raid Inochi fantasy. So, Rose Raid Blood with an email of your choice, guys. Doesn't have to be mine if you don't have them, but if you have them, feel free to use them. And I will see you tomorrow for our last stream of the week. Thanks for hanging out and being awesome. I appreciate you all.